this room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let that friend, that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys sports talk and beyond. That's including the ice wall. We're going to talk about this, as they say, stand tall or not at all. Mama said that there would be days literally just like this.
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same.
And now
it's here.
It's here, baby.
Or should I say,
I am. Yeah. As this room fill up, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let that friend and neighbor know where to go when it's time. Come on with it. Gotta update the title for some strange reason. Got beat so bad the title didn't even update, but that's okay. Come on with it. Yeah. Talk about it all. Come on. Bear with me. Bear with me. Hail Mary. Yep. He didn't want to save on Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in and being part of these stations and nations and everything else. What's our record? Can somebody put our record down? Sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. You know, what's our record? Can somebody put that down in the chat? Can somebody put that down in the chat, baby? And what do you guys think that the Cowboys should do as relates to CeeDee Lamb? Reports are out that he may be out for 4 to 6 weeks. He tried to give it a go. These are one of those things where it can linger if you don't allow it to rest. Remember, we are hey, remember this, ladies and gentlemen. We are top heavy. And if you don't know what top heavy is, just understand that we got no bottoms, man. It's like an ironing board bottom, but everything is up top. It's like when we work out, when you see the fellas that's in the gym that skip leg day, right? The foundation is weakened. And some people may get this content as us being negative, but I don't know what else to say. You know, Quasimodo is Quasimodo. He can't win the beauty pageant or whatever it may be. Quasimodo is Quasimodo, you know, the ugly duckling, you know. So the season is not over with. We just never know how the ball bounce. I mean, I looked at the Eagles and hate to say this, but they clearly could be 0-3 themselves. They could be 0-3. We 1-2, you know. Or the inverse, we were in every game but this game, right? So it could be a situation where the Cowboys could be 0-3. So it's just for what it is. I think that when you do things the right and proper way, good things follow, right? And the Cowboys this offseason, they made it about the documentary. They made it by, do you pay this guy? Do you don't pay this guy? Value and worth. And you can't clock out and get ready for the 2026 season or the 2027 season. And that's the verdict, man. We're not scheduled to play to win this season, right? We are scheduled to play to win next season. If the Cowboys have the sense of urgency, then they would figure out a way to move more and more pieces, more and more things to this particular team, unfortunately. So, yeah, what if he has a high ankle sprain? Yes. So it's about 4 to 6 weeks, man, give or take. I'm not trying to cast any aspersions on anyone, but I just know that it's very difficult to play with those things as a wide receiver. I think the playmaker had a great observation of that. If y'all bear with me, let me see, since I got YouTube Premium now, there's no commercials. Let me see if I can find the playmaker's video on that. And then we'll scoop around and listen to some of the medical reports. And anything and everything can be subject to change as this day processes, okay? A lot of things can change. We get Mingo back. We get Joshua Butler back down the stretch. We get a lot of reinforcements back. Hey, if anything, Deron Bland, when he played, we wasn't giving up 400 yards. We wasn't giving up 300 yards. We wasn't giving up 280 yards. So maybe Deron Bland is better than what we thought. You know what I'm saying? But let's listen to my guy, Unc. Let's listen to Unc right quick. Because Unc always bring in some realism to the table. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champ.
Of course, sat around and watched football all day. That's what makes it a
Put a
great
1 in
Sunday.
the chat if y'all can hear this.
Well, watching football made it great. The Cowboys losing put something bad on the day. Let's talk about this game, because a couple things I want to bring out and point out when I saw this Dallas.
And be mindful. I want you guys to go to his channel, hit that like button, share this content, and let them know, man, hey, man, Law sent me over this way because, man, we close. I got his number in my phone. I don't bug him, though, because I don't roll like that. But here's what I got right here, ladies and gentlemen. I said the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and say what he said, and we're going to play it. I said, if you're a wide receiver, you do wide receivers, right? If you're a tight end, you do tight end. If you draft 2 running backs in this particular draft, then do what they are designed to do. Now, I'm all out on the Miles Sanders thing week 1. I get it. We call him Miles Sanders. But he appears to be springier than what he was week 1, right? I get all of that. But let's not put too much makeup on. A little eyeshadow here, maybe a little blush here and there is okay. But when you cake that makeup on, you become a clown. And the Cowboys got a little too cute. Come on with it. Come on with it.
This Cowboys team. First of all,
Too cute.
they gave up more touchdowns right down the seam. I mean,
Middle field open,
simply
yeah.
down the seam. And this defense is really struggling. Caleb Williams had 298 yards in the air, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 0 interceptions, I think 0 touches.
And yes, John says, shout out to you, 2754. Miles Sanders had 4.6 yards per tote. Here's the craziest thing. The Bears were ranked 31st on defense. They couldn't stop the run. The Bears have issues on stopping the run. We was running that ball. Now, granted, playmakers make playmakers. You know what I'm saying? And make plays, I meant to say. And they snatched that ball away from Javonte. I'm sitting here like, man, that was the catalyst of the game, right? Let's go with it.
I don't think anybody touched him. I know he had 0 sacks, and that's the first time in his career that he had 0 sacks. The Cowboys Chicago talked about it. Chicago Bears talked about better practicing, better habits. And they came out and played like what Coach talked about, took some kind of a hold of them, had an effect on them because they came out ready to play. I thought the Cowboys were overlooking this team, thinking it was a pretty automatic win. I'm going to say this. I never liked it. I always said, and I know the new way and the new day is do everything. You want to Debo Samuel. You want to do this. You want to run the ball. I don't want to do all of that. I don't want to throw no reverse pass. I don't want to run out of the backfield. I want it to be like that old Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial. They used to have a chicken. It says Kentucky Fried Chicken. We do one thing and we do it right. That's what they used to say. That's what I used to say when I was playing. I do one. Don't ask me to do special teams. I'm certain I don't want to do. I do one thing and I do it right. And the reason I do one thing and do it right is because all these other things is how you get your things hurt. That's what happened to CeeDee Lamb today. CeeDee Lamb did decide. They decided early on to put CeeDee Lamb in the backfield, hand off the ball, and let him run right. And somebody jumped right on him, twisted his ankle, and he left the game. The Dallas Cowboys are not the Dallas Cowboys without 88. You understand? You have to have 88 on the field.
Got to have him on the field. And I know we can argue on whether or not it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But for a high ankle sprain to properly heal for a wide receiver, not a quarterback, I'm talking about a wide receiver where your game is feet, quick release, getting in and out of your cuts, to stop on a dime. Everything that you do with your body as a wide receiver deals with your lower body extremities. For a high ankle sprain to fully heal is 6 to 12 weeks. Now, 4 to 6 is being nice. Now, the Cowboys fans in the world of Jerry Jones with the optimistic view of things, they say, yeah, he'll be ready to play next week. He'll be ready to play 2 weeks from here. It is the same pathway that we talk about as it relates to Trayvon Diggs. He's not ready. So what people will do is technically say, yeah, he can move around, he can run around, he's okay. And he may be okay going up against practice squad guys. He may be okay going up against our defense. But my job and my duty is to tell you guys the absolute truth. So because what y'all tend to do, as soon as that player get out there and get himself out there on the field, y'all act as if though those injuries never occur, and we begin to hear these words: trash, wash, you shouldn't have paid him, value, worth, and that just for what it is. Now, it's a low sprain, even a low sprain, 2 to 3 weeks, you can maximize it to 4 to 6 weeks on that particular situation. High ankle sprain, 6 to 12. So when we start to look at these numbers, it's still the same. So what you guys are going to say, CeeDee Lamb, he should be able to do this and he should be able to do that. Aren't you guys saying the same thing right now, yes or no, about Trayvon Diggs? Yes or no in the chat. If we having a realism, honest conversation. Are you guys saying that, hey, man, he's washed, he's buzzed, he's trash, he's no good. Man, don't put him in the game. Why we got him out there? Because the Cowboys don't have the mindset or the fortitude to have the sense of urgency. That's why I call it intellectual insults. And that's just for what it is. We can't carve out these things and continue to give them grace and continue to give them mercy and continue not to move to go out there to get somebody that can help alleviate these type of things. But, hey, y'all know more than me. Hey, keep the change, as they say. All I can say is just tell you what the truth is, right? And regardless of whether or not it hit you with the truth or not, and I know y'all have love affair with the players and wanting them to be certain things that they're not, but that's just the reality of it. Cowboy Nation. All right, so when we look back at all of this, and I'm not beating up anyone who would like to defer and argue, okay? I'm not doing that,
Let's talk about their star receiver, CeeDee Lamb, who, of course, we saw yesterday walking off the field, actually came back in the game after suffering an ankle injury, quickly realized this was not going to happen, came out of the game, was ruled out. My understanding is Cowboys believe this is a high ankle sprain for CeeDee Lamb. High ankle sprain. Going to have some tests today, an MRI, just to determine the severity. Generally, high ankle sprains are 4 to 6 weeks, but owner Jerry Jones believes that this is not as serious as it could have been, saying we will keep our fingers crossed.
We're going to keep our fingers crossed. We're going to live with the mindsets of hope. We're going to live with the thoughts and the ideology that all is well. I can't complain. We shall overcome. We're going to have faith. And that's all we're going to take. Damn, every time I go live, the Cowboys go live. Stephen Jones said, okay, so Stephen Jones live right now. I don't want to extend this show. Good Lord. All right, so let me see if I can find that clip. Since they're live right now. Bear with me, y'all. Appreciate y'all. And Tolbert, Tolbert be back at wide receiver too. Yeah, that's wild. All right, let me see. Are they live right now? Let me go to 105. I think Stephen Jones, because I want to be able to make sure we're on top of this information. If anything leaked out or what have you. Let's see if they are live right now. Bear with me, Cowboy Nation.
I just, right now, we're not executing. We're not getting the job done. And we're giving up way too many explosive plays. We are getting them in third down
also Jerry nonsense.
at times, but then we're not executing on third down. And this is just something that, we've just got to be better all the way around on defense in terms of executing. And I think that's a big part of it right now.
And I just want to make sure I heard the first part of that correctly. You do not believe it is talent or personnel issues that have led specifically to some of these problems?
No, I think this is
I'm quite sure. If you the one picking the product, yes. Yeah, them grapes are bad. Nah, man, it's just the time that you ate them. Them grapes are good when I picked them. Yeah, bananas already turned black. Yeah, man, but chop them up, make banana pie, banana pudding, banana bread. It's terrible right now. We waited too late. The bananas are old.
Making the plays we need to make on third down.
I've heard this mentioned multiple different times, Stephen, so I was kind of curious your thoughts on it. How much does 3 straight different defensive coordinators in 3 straight years do you think affects the way things are?
Everything.
Especially this early in the season, too.
Yeah, we certainly believe that we're going to go chop wood and get back to work, and we're going to execute better with each week. There's no question. You don't get around that you've had 3 straight coordinators, 3 straight different coordinators, and, we just have to work through that. It happens to teams. Teams get new coordinators, and ultimately they can go out and execute and play good defense in this particular case.
Name them teams that flip out entirely infrastructure, schemes.
Not much, not enough pass.
See, people, when you copycat off of someone and you using someone else's strategy, you got to also know the ingredients, right? Just because you can make it look like Polynesian sauce, let's say Chick-fil-A got Polynesian sauce. Just because you can make your Polynesian sauce look like their Polynesian sauce doesn't mean that it will be their Polynesian sauce. Case in point, When you look at Vic Fangio, he's a vision-based defense, and I'm just using the Eagles for concept-wise. People fail to realize, even though he may have ushered in that new defense just last season, but he was also the consultant in 2022. And then from 2022, he went to the Miami Dolphins in 2023. Became the number one defense, so he is a good defensive coordinator. Even though they may have their hiccups, the base and the infrastructure is still there. They never changed out the framework. We went from a man-to-man to a zone-based defense with man-to-man personnel. So we can't just be looking on other people's tests and expecting the same results. Boy, look, boy, don't have me to start preaching to y'all.
Rush, and they keep bringing up Micah's name. Do you think Micah would be the difference for this defense right now and this team's current record?
You know, I'm worried about the guys who are on this football team, and we've got to figure out how to execute play.
Let the AI speak.
Quentin Warner, $5. He has bumped his damn head. It is talent. Please miss me with that.
Facts. You got to have talent, and you got to have people buying into what man, Quentin, boy, that's an MVP super chat right there, brother. Here's another thing that I want to add, because we're gonna go back to that interview, but I want to add this in right here because so many people are buying into this right here. Okay, boom. I got to go back because I had my show already laid out and lined in. All right, so Cowboys, a wise man once said, we got draft picks. We don't need pass rush. We just have to stop the run. We can always fabricate pass rush. I get that. I know, I understand. MP is going to be talked about for eons here, right? You're just not going to trade away a guy and not talk about it in Dallas, right? Because people talk about any trade that we had here for a long time. And I got Bert in this, who says, we got our asses waxed last season with Parsons. Parsons wasn't going to help this team whatsoever. Remember the Saints did to us last season. Now, keep this in mind for context. The Saints were 2-0. They had a veteran quarterback named David Carr that a third of the Cowboy Nation was saying that Carr was better than Dak and all of this stuff for millions of years, right? I'm just paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting things together. But here's what I'm going to say here. People act as if though we went through an entirety of the year with the exact same team and you can't get better. Here's one of the problems of the Cowboys community. They tend to pander and fall on the side of the Joneses and give them a free pass. When I can clearly tell y'all that Aaron Donald was one of the most dominant players in the National Football League. And the Rams never said we're going to rely everything on him. They had to go out and add pieces around. So what I'm saying is we didn't have to throw away everything. We didn't have to throw away everything just to prove a point that we can win without that one thing. All we had to do was build around that one thing. And that's the same notion that I've been telling you guys also about Dak Prescott. Law, what have you been saying? People tend to say that Dak Prescott chokes the game. He throws INTs. He suck. Oh, man, he's what's on most of the bottom of most people's feet. He's ass. All of this stuff. And I can tell you, all right, even if it's so, I've seen the Brad Johnsons of the world win Super Bowls. The Nick Foles of the world win Super Bowls. I've seen Trent Dilfer. Dak Prescott is far beyond all of those particular players, even to a degree Eli Manning. But the Cowboys tend to put everything on one instead of building around another. It doesn't matter what superstar you have on this team. If you don't build a complete team, we're going to continue down the same stretch. It doesn't matter how much lipstick you put on. It don't matter how much scoops of sugar that you put on the S sandwich. You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We just played against two teams back to back that you can't name me their starting 5 offensive line. If you had a gun to your head, right, on all of those guys, if you can get all of the answers right within 30 seconds or within a minute, you can't name me those teams, right? You can't name me those offensive linemen. And those quarterbacks, like Russell Wilson, put up 450 yards. And I was telling y'all, when Russell played this weekend, he ain't putting up 450 yards. And you can probably bet your bottom dollar next week when Caleb Williams, painted fingernails and all, whoever they play next week, he probably ain't going to put up 300 yards. But what happens here is that we can't even beat those people. Our defense can't even bust through this particular. Where that Cheeto at? This is a repurposed mem. I had this mem before when we had Rob Marinelli. This is an old mem. It just hit me, you know. I just went and got the same mem that we had with Rob Marinelli, and I just repurposed it. This is not new. This is something that I pulled out of the meme closet, right? Or memes or whatever it may be. Let the AI speak.
J Diz, $5. Said it earlier, no matter who you bring in to play or coach, the Jones family is the issue. Championships are won by having complementary football.
Yes, and complementary football and complementary skill sets, schemes, and systems. The Cowboys, on the other hand, they want things a certain way. You know, Jerry in the meeting, meddling around with duck tacos, right? Forcing everybody to eat it. This year, the number one thing that we tried to focus on is stopping the run at all costs. Like, that is the number one reason why we haven't been winning, is stopping the run. One player stopping the run. And this is not me battle crying for that player to come back. It's water under the bridge. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is, don't let these Joneses tell you that we got all of these draft picks and we're great at drafting. Oh, man, it doesn't matter if you have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, all of the Justice League mixed in with the Avengers. If you don't have a strategy with that, it doesn't mean a hill of beans. Right now, the only person that we drafted in the 2025 season that's making a great impact is probably Tyler Booker. How many picks we had this season?
Son of John, $9.99. Facts Only Sports with Big Country said that Doc is a 1-2 red quarterback. Can you address this weirdness and why it matters to point this out when the big problem was the defense?
Right. The biggest problem is the defense, you know. And just this can point out all of this, you know. It's just for what we can see right here. What do your eyes see? If you were to do a test and you say where the problems and the pains are at, I mean, you know, let me know, like, what do you guys see? Yeah, what do you guys see? And B-Dub, you right. And Booker got ran over multiple times, and that's warranted for a rookie. What do y'all see the issue at? Like if you were to have a test and you bring that back to the table, you know what I'm saying? And we say to ourselves, where's the issue at? Can y'all point out the issue on this particular list? Just show me right here, and I'm gonna mark it. Show me where's the issue at. If you are failing, where do you need to improve at? Like let's say where we need to improve at, and we can move on from here.
A winning defense and make it happen. You know, with each week with the guys we have. I mean, every team has challenges with injuries, with different things, and that's no excuse. We've got to go out. We've got to execute the defense. And I believe in Coach Schottenheimer and Coach Eberflus. He's been successful in this league, for many, many years. And, I believe they'll get the job done.
Now, one of the people that is on the roster, you talked a lot last week about the ramp-up process for Jadeveon Clowney. I know, obviously, he was inactive yesterday, but do y'all think he's going to be on track then to play against the Packers?
Yes, fully expect him to be ready to come in and help. And, we're going to look at, obviously, be looking at this film very closely and, seeing exactly where our shortfalls are and seeing where we can do some things differently to have success. And I certainly believe, we've got the coaching staff and we've got the players to execute and play good defense.
Man, I wasn't even ready for this show. This is freestyling all the way. What was the Panthers' record last season? How much of an impact was Jadeveon Clowney for the Panthers team? I'm not trying to go as low as possible, but I just want to bring in the realism as possible. We bringing in a guy that didn't do nobody's off-season training camp, nobody's preseason, and we want this 32-year-old in mid-season, almost in mid-first half of the season, to come in to be our help and savior. Now, he had 5 sacks last season, 5.5. And I want number 42, Jadeveon Clowney, to be impactful. But the odds of him being a juggernaut on defense is the odds of the moon landing being real. And I know people going to go fight back and forth. Yeah, the moon landing was real. We haven't been back to the moon since then. Matter of fact, the moon landing was so real that the president of the United States, Nixon, used a landline phone to call up to the moon. And there's people present day that can't even use a cell phone that's probably on the plane that's closer to the moon to somebody that's to the moon right now. So look. I get it. We want to be optimistic in all of these good things. Yeah, he did had 9. He did had 9 sacks with the Ravens. I ain't gonna even go back and forward to contextualize what the Ravens had on defense compared to us. But come on with it.
Can you walk us through, like, historically or going into the hire, what is it about Eberflus's track record that made you believe to begin with that he was the right guy for this defense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he went on to Indy, was named coordinator from his time here in Dallas. He did a lot of great things here under Marinelli, and then, he had top-of-the-line defenses at Indy to a point where, this league seems to go with offensive coordinators as head coaches, but he made an impact in Indy as a coordinator there and had all top defenses. And then, he didn't call the defense his first year in Chicago, but then once he started calling the defense again, they had really good defenses in Chicago. So track record's very good. We're very comfortable with Coach Eberflus and how he coaches and what he brings to the table, and certainly understand everybody's going to look hard at anything that's not having success right now, and we're certainly struggling on that side of the ball.
Trayvon Diggs has had his own series of struggles this year. I know he popped up on the injury report, and then he got hit in the shoulder. I know he went back in the game. For everything you know, Trayvon Diggs is coming out of that game feeling all right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's obviously, had a shoulder issue there when he made the tackle out in open field there. But, this is part of the game. I mean, it's a violent game out there, and certainly, guys get beat up during the course of a season. And, he did, came out of the game there for a little bit, but went back in and everything checked out. And, he came back out and finished strong.
When you talk,
I'll challenge him on finishing strong, But here's the problem. This is one of the part of the problems. When you get close to the team, you had to say, hey, man, it's going to hurt you a little bit. I'm going to talk bad about you a little bit. but I'm doing it out of love, man. So you don't have to slide in the DMs or anything like that, bro. I got to talk bad about you, man. You ain't ready, man. Shoot, you ain't ready, At the end of the day, they are forcing this on us, on a guy that they refuse to say, hey, we need to sit that money out. We need to sit that money out. What's the money? The $104 million, whatever they paid Trayvon Diggs. They're not finna bench Donovan Wilson because of the money. My money need to be money in. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying that brother, that naysayer, $7 million. He better be out there. What you mean he can't play this scheme? Coach him up, play the scheme. And then refuse. The Joneses got really itchy, sensitive ears, man. We looking bad. So we gave up 450 yards last game. I got my first round draft pick. That guy with the beard. I mean, that other people that's all around these communities talking about the draft picks that we ain't really playing. Put my draft pick out there, Mozzie. Put 58 out there. I don't care. We drafted him in the first round. We looking bad. Figure out a way. That's just for what it is, baby. These guys want to have their money out on the field. We just try to win games. I don't give a dog if all of a sudden we pick up a guy that was working a hot dog stand 2 weeks ago. And if he can run, catch, hit, and do all of that stuff, put him out there. Stop playing politics. The Cowboys love playing politics. The Cowboys' number one problem with the front office, the need to be right. They suffer from it. They want to be right on all situations. Look, you can literally tell Jerry, hey, them curtains up there will block out the sun. If you put the curtains up there, it will help your wide receivers catch the ball. Let the AI speak.
Quinton Warner $5. Man, listen to this guy. He is a clone child. The sad thing is they're drafting another offensive lineman in the first round. Disgusting.
And they would pivot and they would preach it, and we will all agree with it. Because Terrence Steele right now, my God, is an awesome God. He reigns forever and more. Yeah, but it's Terrence Steele. Oh, my goodness. He going to get somebody hurt, man. I get it. I understand Tyler Booker. He's going to go through some growing pains. And, boy, they baptizing him. But, Terrence, what's your excuse? Not listening. Yeah, he's not. Matt Batten said he's not listening to us, but they watching. They want to be able to be right. And so far they are. Two things can be true. We're stopping the run. Purgatory. Yeah. I mean, come on with it.
Talk about the defense executing better. How high up on that list is the tackling? Because there was one play in particular where I know Kenny Clark got dinged up for a second, but there were at least 3 to 4 missed tackles on that play. How could
got the AI speak? Appreciate you.
Newhouse fam _ $44.5. Jerry talking about we still looking like a playoff team. I wanted to BTA the Jared'll outta his tails from the crip looking
Newhouse fan, boy. Hey, keep that energy, Newhouse, boy. You've been out here. Hey, I commend your comments, man. I realize sometimes I go back and just watch the comments, man. Just watch y'all commenting, you know. But you're right, you know. We're still mathematically in this thing. I'm going to still support and root for this team, and I'm not finna go to draft day mode yet until we mathematically out of it. I'm still with the puncher's chance. And people fail to realize for what I said yesterday, they thinking that I'm declaring. That's why they say law is delusional. That's why I had to kick that guy up out of here. I'm not declaring that we will win. next week or versus the Green Bay Packers. But knowing the history, the historical reference of the Cowboys, damn it, that's when we do win. When all odds are against us, baby, that's when we win. I'm just too old to remember. I've been watching this stuff. Baby, y'all hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Baby, I'm old enough to remember the Colts coming in. And it could, we would have been on the road or it was at the house in Dallas, wherever it was. We were the severe underdogs in that game. Peyton Manning, undefeated, 9-0 or 11-0 at the time, versus the measly Cowboys that win a game, lose a game. Cowboys don't have a chance. Boy, we walked in there. Here goes Sean Lee having his breakout moment, pick sixing, doing all type of things. I'm sitting there like, wow. Wow, this is what the Cowboys do. I was already preparing myself for the misery, for the defeat. I looked up, boy, we beat the brakes off the Colts. Who remember that game? And the same could be said, here comes the New Orleans Saints. Who that said they're going to beat them Saints? 9-0, 8-0, whatever it was. They had an O on the end. The Cowboys couldn't stand a chance. All of a sudden, the Cowboys, Tony Romo turned into a Super Saiyan. Boy, we were throwing that ball all over the field. I said, you know what? Hey, let's go, Cowboys. Boy, we had no business winning that game. We win games that nobody see that we was going to win. When all is favored to win. You know what I'm saying? It was 2009. Shout out to you, 1758. Come on with it. You know, everybody all in favor of the Green Bay Packers. Watch. And all of a sudden, the defense, we probably have pick sixes. We probably have Dak Prescott throwing for 500 yards. Boy, it's just going to be crazy. It's just what we do, especially during the regular season. All right? I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. But then again, the Cowboys could get demolished. It's just for what it is. All right, let's get back to these two super chats before we play Jerry Jones' son or brother. It stays here, Rich Coleman, appreciate you. Lord, we have scored 31 points before we come out the locker room, DC for life. Yeah. Lord, we have to score 31 points. My hooked on funny guys. Let me see. Yeah, we have to score 31 points. Yeah, we are back to those boys. We must score 30 points to win games. Unless you have the tolerance of loving this right here, loving this pain. There's some people on my Instagram saying, no, Lord, that this picture is inaccurate. And I said, why? And they are saying literally that Cheeto is a little bit tougher than our defense. you know what I'm saying? They said that Cheeto right there, he ain't lying, is more tough, is a little bit tougher than our defense right now. Come on with it, man. It's embarrassing to say the least. All right, so Cowboys, Keystone Cowboys, I told people we're going to mess around and make Caleb Williams a Pro Bowler, and look what happened. And this is what this kind of caliber vision-based defense, when you don't have the personnel, this is what that do, you know. This goes back to the time when we played against Mitch Trubisky, Jeff Driscoll. This was when the time when we had Rob Marinelli, who is the tree, and Matt Eberflus is the branch of this particular tree. Now, Matt Eberflus, let me just pick on Matt Eberflus for a quick second here. Let me pick on Matt Eberflus just for a quick second. I think that his version and his calibrations of defense is okay. I agree with Stephen Jones to that degree. But it's not okay when you don't have the personnel. And if he's trying to bring in his people, Sanborn to a degree, leaning on Kenneth Murray, we know that regardless of how many more games Kenneth Murray in Sanborn play, they would never, and I'm saying this word real to you all, never be coverage linebackers. That's not in their DNA. They've been in the league too long to all of a sudden flip it around and be covered linebackers. They're going to forever be run-stopping linebackers downhill, fit, scrape, disengage, and get to the runner or the quarterback. They will not all of a sudden, through osmosis, become cover linebackers. That's just not who they are. Now, Mears Learfowl, he's still developing. Shamar James, he's still developing. And what I'm trying to tell y'all, and what I was trying to tell Clarence Hill when we was on the show, Cowboys and Chill, last week, baby, you can read the book on how to swim all your life. But until you get into that water, all what you read don't mean a hill of beans. And if these young players are even to that degree, for what Murray done did, it don't matter how much knowledge Murray have. For what Sanborn did, doesn't matter how much knowledge he have. It's not going to save. You might as well put the youth out there. We already getting 450 yards. We already look bad. We the 31st ranked defense. Y'all, please find me. Find me the defense that's worse than us. We already bad. You might as well put the guys that you drafted out there. So maybe around November, December, they will be ready. But you reading this book on how to swim, you can read it all day. But you get in that water, what chapter 3 is going to help you out with? Oh, man, I got to turn to chapter 4. You drown. You dead. You gone. You up out of there. You to the heavens. So Sanborn, Kenneth Murray, hey, man, we appreciate y'all time. You guys were able to carry these youth into the season. Your job is done. We already ranked 31st in defense. We're not going to improve no more with you guys out there on the field, but I'm going to put the youth out there. From the 870. He states this, 870 on BY, passing game coordinator, needs to have his head to roll too. Y'all, it ain't all on flus. I agree. Donald has a C on his chest. He got to call what he sees and hear. Somebody need to be snatching that C up off of his chest. You know what I'm saying? Jeez. Yeah, 31 out of 32. Who's the 32nd team on defense? Y'all let me know. Yeah. Sunburn, Sanborn, Sailborn. You know what I'm saying? Boy, that guy is getting burnt. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how you say that man's name.
Concerning his missed tackles early in the season.
You know, I think there's a fine line there between, wrapping up and tackling and punching the ball out. And certainly, we're stressing turnovers and getting the ball, and we want to punch the ball out.
Haven't had a turnover in 2 games.
Sometimes you
last game
sacrifice a little on your tackling accuracy when you go for the punch outs. And that's certainly something I know they're going to continue to look at, the give and take that comes.
Hold on. And I know we're going to do a lot of stopping and going. We extended this show. I didn't want it to be extended, but we extended it. What's the Colts record? They 3-0, huh? This season. Who did they sign today? Right? Just let me know who they signed today. Come on, man.
With that, but
they went
as you've watched the games. When these defenses go for the punch outs, they're not wrapping up. They're slamming down on the ball and trying to get the ball out and not necessarily wrapping up. And
AI speak.
1758 game $5. The Cowboys have not had a true defense since 2009. The Joneses don't know that safety and linebackers are just as important as corners and DL open mouth smile.
1758, man. Shout out to 1738 too. But 1758 game, I guess 1776 as well, and all of those 17s. But you're right, man. You look, that's where they was penetrating the core of this team. You want to have your core right? And we do. We technically don't insult our intellectual insult by saying we focus in on the interior a week before we played our first game, right? When you made the move for Kenneth Clark or what have you. But the Cowboys technically never invest in the interior. Like, here's the play with the Cowboys, and they may get pissed off at me for saying this. And they are very good at moving the goalposts, because what they're going to say is when Clowney doesn't really pan out, and I hope he do pan out, by the way. I'm not wishing ill will on him. They say, rest assured, we're going to have Perrion Winfrey come. And when he comes back, he's going to help alleviate some of these things because it's going to free him up on the outside. The Cowboys have their already excuse line already leveled. And if that don't work, baby, what they're going to say is, hey, this Peyton Turner kid, he was a former first-round pick or a second-round pick. Be sure to understand. Be sure to understand that he is just as good as D-Law or whoever it may be. And that's just for what is going to happen. Yeah, the coach signed a DB, Mike Hilton. If anybody needed a DB, should have been the Cowboys. They should have brought Mike Hilton in for a cup of coffee, some Fritos, Cheetos. Yes, indeed. They should have brought that guy in. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it. You know, the Cowboys, boy, they play with our emotions.
Taking the runner to the ground. So there's a fine line there, but, there's it's a full body of work of what we got to improve on the defensive side of the ball. I do think we're doing some really good things defensively and stopping the run, but, we just got a lot of work to do, and we're going to go to work.
Has there been any, do you think there will be any extra focus specifically in the first half? Because I know you said it's the full body of work for the defense, but this defense has really put the team in a hole in these first halves, giving up an average of 19.3 points in the first half alone.
Yeah, I mean, we've just, I think it seeps into, the full game. I mean, if you start out strong, it obviously helps. We got a great 3-and-out to start the Chicago Bear game, but, obviously we gave up some big plays there in the first half that led to touchdowns. And, we've just got to continue to practice hard and execute and have that roll over into the games that we execute during the games and play the type of defense we need to play to win football games.
Stephen, I think it was about half the plays that Dak had for passing were too high safety, and I'm just kind of curious because a lot of things. Jake Ferguson had a big game underneath yesterday, and I'm just kind of curious is there a way to beat that too high safety for Dak, or is it just we have to settle for whatever's underneath and just figure our way out there?
No, we have certainly we feel like we can beat too high safeties for big.
This dude don't know no football, man. Stephen Jones, man, he just football by proximity, man. His drunk dad, man, shoot, at 46 bought the team. This brother doesn't know no football, man. Seam routes be too high, but you got to have somebody who can run and get past that linebacker. I like what my guy Ferguson can do. But he's no yak guy. He's beginning to catch the ball and fall down guy. But we do have a guy named Brevin Spann Ford who should be in the game, but politics is in the way. Why in the world we have Schoonmaker there? The need to be right. There's nobody that can sit here with a straight face, that works for the Cowboys, that's been a beat reporter, that's been out there as a content creator or a person that's in the stand or on the sideline, that can say with a straight face that Schoonmaker in practice when we were out there in Oxnard, man, that Schoonmaker, man, he was solid. Oh, man, that Schoonmaker, man, he catching in between the splits. Oh, man, he's blocking well. There's nobody that can literally say that with a straight face without lying and shorten their days here on earth by lying. If anything, if Brevin Spanford didn't get his ankles twisted up week one or the first few days of training camp, people would have been looking at Ferg as an afterthought. I'm just being real with y'all. But people can literally say that Brevin Spanford and that Fairweather kid, I get it, against the levels of competition, but let the AI speak.
J Diz, $5. Play the Charlie Brown adult sound when the Jones family speaks.
Hey, man, I got you, man. JD's. Yeah. Now, Jason Witten, man, Jason Witten was a different type of animal. Jason Witten was drafted by a real true coach and lasted here because of the grit and grind of what that real true coach brought to the table. Have you ever noticed during those stretch of 13 years, 13 seasons, that most of those players that was high impact guys were guys that was drafted from the Parcells tree? I can't make this stuff up. Romo, Witten, right? Most of those guys. Where? All of those guys were impactful players because of Parcells' mindset, even though Parcells didn't want Ware, right? But I get that. Devon says the Jones family talks sweet. Nothing all the time. Yeah, sweet nothings, boy. Yeah. Sweet nothings.
For big plays, it certainly helps when you game plan with CD being in the game. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of taking what they were giving us there. But we certainly.
Yeah, semantics. But yeah, Romo was undrafted, but he was shifted and molded by Parcells. If Parcells was never here, Romo probably would have been a footnote on his team, and he probably wouldn't got past Clint Stoner. I think we had literally a guy named Clint Stoner that was ahead of him. If it was the Wade Phillips or Jason Garrett era, Romo probably would have never existed. They were like, yeah, you're good. But it was Parcells that said, hey, I see something in this kid, but it is for what it is. I'm not beating up that ideology.
Certainly have two high coverage beaters in our offense that we feel good about, and at the same time we can execute. And as you said, Ferguson had a real nice game there underneath yesterday. I do feel like we're running the ball well, and we're going to get our opportunities to make our own explosive plays.
Yesterday after the game, Jerry did say that he still believes this is a playoff team, and I don't necessarily need you to speak for Jerry on this, but if that's the belief within the walls of that place, is it because there's still a lot of season left, because you see some growth? What are your feelings on what he said there?
Here's my thoughts. Let me interject right quick. As the owner and operator of the team, yes, you're supposed to keep that faith. You're supposed to say and speak those things into existence. But there should be a guy that also the counter. And it could be swearing. It could be chastising. Even God chastises those who he loves, right? And we can't just continue to get kids flowers, candies, and ice cream before they go to bed and say, hey, don't worry about the outcome or don't worry about the results of those things because I love you. No, somebody got to be stern and hard and fixate themselves as being a disciplinarian to be able to tell them no sometimes. No sometimes. Brush your teeth. Get you a glass of water, take your butt to bed. Sometimes you got to have that balanced approach. But we can't still continue to reward these guys who's performing not up to this level to say, yes, we are still a playoff team. I like the way that Ben Johnson said, he came out, that he said that the team wasn't practicing as a playoff caliber team or a champion level team. That's for the Chicago Bears. So he turned up the dial a little bit going into practice this week, knowing that everything is going to be showcased for the Dallas Cowboys game, one of the most visible games this weekend. That is what Jimmy Johnson offered to the table. He didn't pander. He didn't cuddle with the players. He made sure that he put his foot upon the neck and made sure that they didn't take anything lightly. Now, this docile approach that the Cowboys are accustomed to, I get it. It's good for branding. It's good for business. It's good to talk glowingly. But you got to have somebody in that room to talk a little nasty. You got to have somebody to be truthful to these players. You got to have somebody. I like Shotty. Shotty's real cool. But we still need somebody to pour upon the repercussions of spitting, yelling, talking down, and saying that, hey, this is not acceptable. Accountable, yeah, you can point at your chest all the time. But what are you doing to resolve these issues? Murphy states we need to put the youth in at speed out the prior period. At least we would know.
1758 game $5.
I appreciate
no,
you, Murphy.
PLZ play the clown music when the Jones speak. PLZ open mouth smile, open mouth smile, open mouth smile.
Yes, indeed. Quentin Warner states this MF has never played Pop Warner. Disgusting. Yeah, I think that, Stephen Jones, I think he did play linebacker for the Arkansas Razorbacks, but we know how he probably made the team, Hey, my daddy played for this team. You know how they go. And 1758 says, no, please play the clown music when the Jones are speaking. Hey. What's the double request?
Oh, I do. I mean, that's why we're in the business for, is to get in the tournament. And we've got a lot of work to do. We certainly understand that. We think we've got a lot of good things that are going for this team. And we do think we should only get better as the season progresses. And, one of the guys in the locker room said, hey, this is a 17-round fight, and we're only in the third round. So we've got obviously got a lot of work to do, but we feel like, that with this coaching staff and with this group of players that we'll do the things that we have to do to be successful.
When you talk about...
No doubt. Rich Coleman, RC, states, Law, keep up the great work. The trade deadline will be the key for our season this year. Yeah, the trade deadline will be the key, Rich, RC. It will be this situation there. I think that optimism can be a good thing and a bad thing, right? I mean, it's just for what it is. You can keep saying, hey, I'm looking for that glory hole. That's what Jerry said. I bought over $400,000. What is it? $800,000 investment that he made. Now, all of us not privy to making and pulling out money to get $800,000, right? Bought a piece of land, bought the equipment, and tried to drill till he hit that glory hole. Yeah. And he said in that documentary, and he said when he hit that hole, it started spitting like any other mammal would. I laughed my ass off that day. He said it started spitting, boy. He said when he hit that hole, it started spitting like any mammal would. And he knew that he was on his way. It takes the risk. It's a gamble. So we can all say, hey, man, through osmosis, this season, we're going to get our reinforcements back. We're going to be able to get things moving and grooving back. If our goal is to make it to the postseason, which is cool, there's nothing wrong with that. It's flat out nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to tell y'all, my goal is not to make it to the postseason. I want to get beyond the postseason, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to just get to the postseason. We want to compete. I want to see what we measure up against the elite. And right now, we can't even measure up against an 0-2 team or an 0-1 team.
About a lot of good things to take away from this team so far. Obviously, a lot of fans are looking for positives today. I know you talked about the positivity of doing well against in the run defense and then doing well running the ball. Are there any other particular aspects or players or anything that you're like, hey, this is working early on?
Well, I think we can move the ball, throwing the ball. I think Dak's having, he's having a great year so far. I mean, that was unfortunate on the pick to Pickens, where it unfortunately bounced up in the air off his hands. But, I do think we can move the ball against anybody. And I do believe that, we're going to do the things that we have to do to execute on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the back end, to make the plays we have to make to have success.
I know there can be a fine line between showing that passion and maybe going too far. I appreciated how frustrated George Pickens was after that interception. Any issue with like the slamming of the helmet or anything like that?
I mean, that's something that Coach Schottenheimer addresses with the players. And like you said, he's an emotional guy. We've had guys like that here before, whether it's Michael Irvin or, Des Bryant. All those guys showed emotion at different times. And they're competitors, and they want to win. And when they make a play that they're not happy with, then a lot of emotion comes out. And certainly that's part of it.
And, Stephen, before we let you go, yesterday Mozzie was active. Was there a particular thing that he had done that was necessitated him being activated?
Well, Coach Schottenheimer stresses, that we compete every day. And
no. You guys said why my first round draft pick ain't out there. We looking like fools. We are looking like, come on with it. That's what happened. I could be 1,000% wrong. I could be 1,000,000. Matter of fact, I could be 1,000,000,000% wrong. But you can't tell me, you can't lie to me, because I would have heard reports. They said that they benched Mozzie and he was a healthy scratch because of inconsistency. So here's how the lies, because I do have a photographic memory, and it's not the best of the memories, but it's up there, when I really channel in to that force. So you mean to tell me that a guy who haven't been really motivated, that all of a sudden, because he haven't been motivated, like he haven't been moving the needle. I'm just telling y'all straight up. This is not no castings or aspersions upon Mozzie. So you mean to tell me all off season, all through preseason, that this guy who haven't been motivated took it upon himself, not after week 1, but after week 2, after we done beat the Giants, they said, you know what, I'm going to motivate myself to be more consistent through this week. And I'm going to trump Jay Toya. I'm going to trump the other guys that's on this D-line to be inserted as the active day guy. Man, I got land on the moon for sale, bro. And the moon landing was real. You know what I'm saying? That little paper thin thing that they show us on these channels, that thing, you can barely fly that thing through the doggone, through Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? And that was, we are led to believe, that landed on the moon. Come on with it. And also was able to take off from the moon. So the moon landing is more real than this doggone Stephen Jones right now. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. You know, you really think about it. The moon landing, when you think about it, just, boy, we might well switch over talking that. You know what I'm saying? That's more real. Like, the cameraman need to be really, he's undefeated because he was able to get on the moon before the moon was landing, before the thing landed, right? Shoot the shot, right? And he was able to pack up and then get back on that device and then shoot it again. Hey, man, come on, man. I can't make this stuff up, man. Hey, shit. Yes, indeed. Hey, that cameraman for the moon landing, he's the real MVP. Whoever the cameraman was, you know, that's the real MVP. Yeah.
And, when he wasn't active the first 2 weeks, he's really been practicing hard. And we just felt like he deserved the chance to go out there and
what's the difference between deserve and earn?
And play that he had practiced really well, and I think he'll continue that. I think the competition's good in there, with the tackles we have, and I think they'll continue to work at it.
Thank you very much for the time, good sir. We appreciate it. We'll catch up with you again next Monday.
Appreciate you guys.
There you go, Stephen Jones right here on 10.
Hey, man, I love my team, man. Are we the only team that got the Father and the Son competing against each other to give us this great information? Come on with it, bro. Yeah, shit.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert. 30 years of my career, dog. Yes, indeed, you appreciate the things you earn, deserve and earn, Yeah, baby, I deserve for you to go and jeez. Buddy, I'm telling y'all, man. Father and son competing, man, for this airtime. Okay. All right, let's see where we are in standings. I appreciate everybody for rocking with us, man. I love y'all to the moon and back. All right, so the Buffalo Bills, they 3-0. That's the AFC. Cincinnati 2-1, Steelers 2-1, Cleveland won them a game. Hip hip hooray! The Colts 3-0. Danny Dimes looking good, huh? Jaguars 2-1. Duval, you know what I'm saying? All right, the 0-3 boys: Houston Texans 10-key, Chargers 3-0, the Vegas 1-2, Denver 1-2. So hey, things are not that bad though. Kansas City 1-2. All right, so with that being said, the Eagles are 3-0, the Commanders are 2-1, we are 1-2. Hey, Giants 0-3, Green Bay 2-1, Vikings 2-1, Bucks 3-0, San Fran 3-0 as well. So what I'm getting at is that we're competing. We are competing for NFC East. Now, we gave the Eagles a run for their money. We did. We gave the Eagles a run for their money, but they beat us. And they are on a 3-game winning spree. The Washington team, they're 2-1. The starting quarterback knocked out, and nothing changed, right? So the Cowboys, in order for us to excel and get things moving and grooving, we're going to have to step it up. We play against the Green Bay Packers next week. Not to move on to the Green Bay Packers, but they have the 3rd-ranked defense and the 11th-ranked offense. Special teams, that's where we can get them at. That's why I feel like we can be the difference makers there. The Cowboys played against Chicago Bears. We swapped. Last week, they were the 31st-ranked defense. We were the 29th-ranked defense. Well, we swapped that a little bit. It is led to believe that the Cowboys, all right, so now the Chicago Bears had a 9th-ranked offense. I think before this game they had like the 17th or the 18th-ranked offense. So they moved up a lot of slots since they played us. I'm quite sure that when we see teams that we go up against, we got to be perfect in all thy ways, especially on offense. That's just for what it is, Cowboy Nation. I'm not being a Debbie Downer. I'm just telling y'all for what it is. We got to be perfect on offense. We got to be able to make sure that we are gritty and grinding in the right way.
Fan, like, is this going to change, or is this just not going to change? This Band-Aid bullcrap telling us talent.
Zach and I were talking to the break. Zach tells you they haven't drafted very well, right?
Yeah, it hurts.
4 years.
That they have not. They haven't. And I'm one that's a big defender of Will McClay and the Scouts, and I've called them the backbone of this organization. But they haven't drafted well, Brandon, and they're now seeing why this draft and develop. If they're not hitting, especially on defense, they have not drafted well on defense to replace the talent that they then lose via free agency, the ones that they don't want to retain, the Dorrance Armstrongs, the Chauncey Golstons, just to name a few. And so now you're seeing a team that is talent depleted on that side of the ball, and when they go bargain bin shopping for the Jack Sanborns of the world, and they want to, the Wanye Thomases that they've still got on the roster, and they pay Marquise Bell, but they don't want to pay him, you're starting to see these issues now unfold, and they just don't have enough talent on that side of the ball. Where, to your comp, the Eagles will admit when they fail in the draft. The Cowboys will not. Mozzie Smith, Luke Schoonmaker, Jalen Tolbert. In fairness, those players, they shouldn't be on the roster anymore because they're not very good. But the Cowboys do not want to admit when they have failed in those areas.
I like Zach Wilchuck, man. Wilchuck. And I like Brian Broaddus, both of those fellas, man. I like them. I don't like truth sometimes, though. And these are the truths that we don't like to hear. It's a kicker in the balls with steel-toe boots. But it's necessary. Will McClay is doing all of the wrong things for the right reasons. I'm on record saying that he's a go-along, get-along guy. He's an enabler. He has bailed out the Joneses for multitudes of years and times. And I get it. He's better than me. I'll leave money on the table all the time. If you're going to put me in a position, you better give me the title and the responsibilities so that I could be in that position. But some people love the money. All money ain't good money. I get it. He want to look out for his family, his friends, and his son. I get all of that. But shoot, I love being my free man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this brother got a title of a general manager, but not the autonomy to fire, cut, not the autonomy to sit back and say, hey, this guy was wasteful. I'm bending. I'm forced with my hand behind my back to get this particular person. He's a go along to get along guy, unfortunately. He's a do boy. And some people need do boys. And some people need those things to be aligned with themselves, right? In order to put a little roof over their head. And that's cool. DP says, how much you want to bet Javonte won't get re-signed for next season? Yeah, I feel you, man. I don't want to put no money on that. And that's the finite reason. Because I can only think of what this Jones family would be like as it relates to not having Will McClay. Because he brings more positive to this draft community than there are negative, to be fair. But he gets an unlimited credit card to Sack and Save, Dollar Tree, Fred's, Family Dollars, and he got to make do what it got to do. Pot stew. Make do what he got to do. Now, on the other end of the situation, we're seeing that guy over there in Eagles country. What's his name? Howie? Ski Mask Howie? Oh, yeah, his job is year to year. if the inverse was the Eagles were 0-3, they be like, hey, man, Howie, what you doing, man? Fire Howie. Get rid of Howie. Make him go. He can't do this. He won't do this. But in the Cowboys world, we can have a loss like what we had in 2023 against the Green Bay Packers, and not a soul is fired. Matter of fact, everybody was willing to, had the ability to come back. It just that, sure, Quinn was like, well, sure, I might as well go get it in somewhere else. Nobody was fired. Not a soul. And our expectations every year is to win a Super Bowl. Man, I would love to see this team if it was run like a real organization. Where's the general manager? If he can't get the results, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. That his, excuse my French, his ass is grass. You're fired. Boy, we'll get some results then. Because now you have to explain why you have Donovan Wilson out there that you paying $6 million that can't cover a pillowcase. He can't cover a pillow, man. Then you have to explain why you burned a second-round draft pick for Kelvin Joseph. You have to explain why you burned a second-round draft pick for a Sam Williams that didn't get playing time. You will have to explain those things. That why you got a Schoonmaker. You have to explain those things. Boy, I would love to see this organization ran like a real organization. But we don't have to here. We don't have those tough conversations on why. Look, let me pull this up, and I'm not beating up the Cowboys, but I am. Somebody got to say it, damn it. Somebody got to say it. Because nobody got balls enough to say it from their work for the beat reporters. Nobody got balls enough to say their works inside the Star, outside of the Star, or near the Star. But damn it, Law Nation got the balls to say it, because I ain't even affiliated with the Star, even though I've been around for the Star longer than those who've been with the Star. You get what I'm saying? Now you're following me with what I'm saying. So let me speak my truths. There's no accountability for someone. Heads should be rolling for Jordan Corral. Noah Brown, he was okay. Joey Ivy or Marquez White, heads should be rolling for Wayne Switzer. A Cheeto Awuzie. So that you drafted Cheeto Awuzie. People fail to realize we drafted Cheeto Awuzie. And that brother was benched majority of the time, even though, in my mind, just my mind, he was better than a damn Anthony Brown. And they didn't play the youth. But that's a high premium draft pick, baby. A second round, couldn't see the field. He was on the bench for the majority of the time, for your mind. That general manager would have to have his head gone. Tacos. That general manager had to have his head gone. Bo Scarborough, Cedric Wilson. Shout out to Cedric. He was okay for us. You know, Chris Covington, Mike White, who? Dalton Schultz, Dorrance Armstrong, Michael Gallup. Paying Michael Gallup $60 million after his ACL then snapped into 1,000 pieces. Somebody here had to go. Oh, yeah. Whoever made that final decision, oh, man, necks, heads rolling, right? Boot sideways up the you-know-what. Connor Williams, who was a tackle in college. Smaller guy. They squeezed him inside. You can blow him down literally. Somebody here's rolling. Leighton Vander Esch. Jalen Jelks. Donovan Wilson. The whole Jackson clan. Michael Jackson, Joe Jackson, Tito Jackson, Janet Jackson. Somebody head got to roll. On top of that, drafting Tony Pollard and not playing him until his final year. Somebody had to go. Oh, somebody had to go. On top of that, making the ill-advised after he broke his foot, leg, or whatever he broke. For you to then in return put that brother on a franchise tag, but meaning that you can't prorate, stretch that money out. You can't do nothing with that money. Oh, somebody head got to roll. But I'm only bringing up the past so that we can know where we go into the future. So don't think that I'm bringing up these old wounds for nothing. Tristan Hill. Mozzie 1.0, basically. He was our first pick in 2019, although we didn't have a first-round draft pick. The craziest thing is that when we drafted Tristan Hill, he wasn't even a starter in college. Somebody next heads, all of this stuff rolling. I'll give them CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs. But CeeDee Lamb had to fight for his money, which was crazy. Reggie Robinson, he was drafted to be a cornerback. We tried to convert him into a safety. And then we realized and said, can we go back to being a cornerback? Think about this. He wasn't a top 100 pick, but he was damn near close. That's a valuable pick range right there. It's 2021, right? We drafted Izzy. Never got a chance to play consistent back-to-back starting games. But we're a great draft team. Somebody neck, head, all of this stuff got to roll. Quentin Bohanna, somebody got to get up out of here for drafting him. Never got a chance to see him on a field, right? Simi Fehoko, man, ponytail and all, couldn't get out there on the field. Josh Butler, we held on to him for truths of saying that, hey, he can be an outside tackle for us. There's people that's in the chat that's more athletic and can play better than Josh Butler. Or Ball, I meant to say. Shout out to my guy Josh Butler, not him. But Jabril Cox, come on with it. I ain't going to even get into that detail. Nashawn Wright, a third-round draft pick or something along of that nature, right? Early draft pick, top 100 basically. Oh, yeah. He was on the winning end yesterday, right? Chauncey Golston. Never got a chance to see the field. Osa Adigi Ozua. We paid him his money. Solid interior guy. But can you explain number 44, Kelvin Joseph? We have issues still to this day at DBs. Man, going over the 2022 draft picks is just as much as me going over some same old news, same old thing. Somebody here got to roll. We operate out of comfort. Other teams operate out of distress. They don't know where their head is going to be at the next year if these picks don't stick. Now, we're going to fast forward for sake of time. For the 2025, we going into our third game. The reason why I'm not complaining, I'm just explaining to you all. If you tally up these draft picks, what the Cowboys tend to do, is say, we like our guys. We like these draft picks. And we don't even get a chance to see these guys on the field. I would prefer the Cowboys to start packaging up these picks, moving up and getting a guy that you ultimately know. Don't go by this law of averages, all of these numbers, and saying, yeah, let's just figure this out from here. Let's see if we can have someone to stick by having numbers. No. Yeah, Jerry, Seabass Jerry is moving real good. Swayze with the super chat. F them picks. Yeah, recent money. F them picks. Move up and go get you a known dog. Stop hanging around with these picks, trying to develop them and never playing these boys. Why are they placing Diggs on the island like he's Dion? They are giving Dak to Romo treatment. He's basically have to play Superman for us to win. As fair and as balanced and objective as my guy Swayze. Out of all of the languages in the world, he decided to type in facts. Bro, I appreciate that. Oh my goodness, I appreciate that. Because if you look at the box scores, if you look at just the box scores, ladies and gentlemen, let me pull up my Cowboys. And we love this team, right? We don't hate this team, we love this team. But somebody got to call it like it is. Somebody got to. Week 3, right? If you just a casual and you looking up the box scores, oh my God, if you're looking at box scores and you say, all right, Dak Prescott 31 for 40, 251 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 INTs, QBR 40. Oh man, he was a problem in this game. Oh man, he can't pass for 2 INTs. You got the running back running for 7.6 yards and stuff like that. That's hero ball stuff. What's my formula for Dak Prescott, ladies and gentlemen? I don't want him throwing 31, 40 times. I don't want him. I don't give a dog if you paying him $80 million. I don't want Dak Prescott throwing it that many times. When you got that ball, what you got to do is come up with a finite reasons to say to yourself, this is the way we going to win games. We're going to run the ball to open up the pass. I get it. What the opposing team do on offense and defense, that's their deal. But we're going to do our game. We're going to run to set up the pass. We can't even do that when the defense is getting burned, scraped, bent over, with a metal pole that's rusty and inserting in with no grease. That's what's happening to us. And we got no solutions from there. We got to get better, baby. We do.
I'm just not a fan of all of this. Let him play wide receiver. We got running backs back there for that. You guys do know in this damn league, nobody gives running backs any credit because they know they don't have a long lifespan. That's why they're not paying running backs a lot of money. After they go through their first contract, then they know, and they give them short-term contracts because they're playing running back and they take a lot of pounding. And we're sitting here putting our best player on offense at the position that destroys players. For the life of me, I don't understand that. That means CeeDee Lamb now has to get tackled by mugs weighing 300 damn pounds. You go down the field, those guys are weighing 190, 200 pounds. That's what I want CeeDee Lamb doing. Sometimes we get too cute with things. Sometimes we try too many things. And this time is one of those times. When CeeDee Lamb got hurt, that game was over. I understood it. I knew it. But I still watched every bit of it because I thought what was important is whenever there is a situation, there's also an opportunity. Whenever there is, like CD goes out and you say, oh my God, this is a mess. There's also a chance to pull greatness out of that mess.
Ooh, that's a bar for you. I got to take that one. Oh, Unc delivering the bars for it, man. Oh my goodness, man. Let me rewind just a little bit, y'all. Y'all okay? Y'all okay?
Out and you say, oh my God, this is a mess. There's also a chance to pull greatness out of that mess. And that opportunity fell right on the shoulders of Pickens today. Pickens.
I know that walk, boy. Shoot. Oh, man, who that walking like that, boy, across that stage?
Pickens today. Pickens. Pickens had 5 for 68 yards. Ferguson led the team 13 receptions for 82 yards. I do like the way Javonte Williams was running, and every time, sometimes, I'm just going to leave it at that. I like Javonte. I like the way he runs. He runs hard.
Hard.
I would probably like to get him more opportunities than the 10 rushes he got. You know what I'm saying? I would probably take Miles Sanders had 9 rushes. I would probably take 7 more and give them to Javonte Williams. And because he's the hard runner. He's the runner that's running hard. I mean, I guess Miles has some speed, but I like the way Javonte.
And I got some pushback with it was on Graham and I think some people on Facebook when I said that we need another running back. There's no shade at Javonte. I like Javonte. I think that he brings a good powerhouse to us. But we need another split back. And for the life of me, it could be just these guys are very similar. A lot of people say that Blue don't know the playbook, and he may be sus as it relates to blocking and these sorts of things. Or he may be injured. I don't know. But at this point, we drafted him. I think we should play him. He should be out there. Now, granted, when he get out there, he may fumble. He may miss a sign. He may miss on a few things. But that's how you learn in the National Football League. He can read that book all he want. Going back to my theory, you can read that book on riding a horse. Yeah, you straddle down and, you grab the wheels, and then you just keep on, get on up there. You can read that book and be an expert. But let that horse get the bucking on you. You can't turn to chapter 3 then. You can't turn to chapter 4. Nothing beats real game experiences is what I'm trying to say. Get that kid out there. Man, we want to score 14 points. How worse can we be with that particular situation? And that's the same thing that I'm saying with these damn defensive players, Kenneth Murray and Sanborn. Get them kids out there, man. Let Wanye play a few reps. What's wrong with that? Let Marquise Bell play a few reps. Matter of fact, Cowboys, let's do this. When you get into the red zone, money zone, green zone, you said you emphasizing on power, strength. You got a running back, a tailback that's averaging 7 yards. Put that ball in his belly. You score that touchdown, and you set the tone. Don't leave money out there on the field.
What disturbed me about it all was I was hoping that George Pickens took this opportunity to say, I am he. And he'll still have an opportunity to take this opportunity to say, I am he. CeeDee won't be right next week against Green Bay. If he didn't return to the game, that ankle's going to swell up some serious tonight. And I did like the fact that he was walking around, on the ankle and everything and trying to play. We didn't want more play and tried to play. So hopefully we don't lose him for more than a week. But reality is that ankle will be there all season long. It's going to be weeks before he's totally healthy.
Listen properly.
And I hope the prayer is not like something I had when I had a fibia, a little crack in my fibia, and that takes you out 5 to 6 weeks. Then we are doomed. Then we can call this one a year. If CeeDee has to go and miss 5 or 6 weeks, or just, if it's a tibia and he has to miss fibia, the small bone. Which one is the fibia? Small bone. Because I remember hurting that. It was my first year in the league. My first year? Yeah, my first year in the league. Yeah. And that kept, and that's a small weight bearing bone. So it takes a while to come back. So I'm just, and I remember walking around afterwards too, just like he did, and trying to run just like he did and couldn't run. So I'm hoping and praying that's not it. But
and you're right, Dwight. He's saying over there on Facebook. He says, just go ahead and go get Amari Cooper. Yeah, go get Amari. I'll call him up. Hey, you still in Dallas? You still got a house down the street. Probably be at the event this weekend that we're going to have. I want to tell y'all some more news. But I'll bring in Amari Cooper. The Cowboys going to sell us. They're going to sell us Jalen Tolbert, man. They're going to sell us, man. And no one is more optimistic than Jerry. I get it. He wants to see his product out there on the field. We like our guys. I get it. Amari Cooper may be washed the most. He may be bottom trash can juice. And I get all of what y'all saying. Elevate Trayshawn Holden. Elevate, figure out a way. Trade for a dog. Do anything and everything you can do to win now. But they're going to sell us, man. They're going to sell us that all is well. It's okay. Osmosis is going to occur. We're going to be in some games. I don't foresee the Cowboys, even as bad and as crazy as this defense is, I don't foresee the Cowboys forever remaining steady at 31st or 32nd ranked defense. I don't see that. Because naturally we saying make those adjustments. And watch what happened. Overshown come back, we play a little bit better. Mears live foul get in, we play a little better. And we going to be all saying, we've been telling the Joneses to do that since day one. We've been telling them to get Murray up out of there. We've been telling them to get Sanborn up out of there. But watch when it happened. And they're going to look like, oh, we're geniuses. No, we've been saying that. Jeez. And I get it, And it's not just, and here's another thing. It's not just Amari Cooper that I'm getting at, too. Go get you a veteran guy. Go get him now. Don't wait too late. If you sold on Amari Cooper, if you don't want him here, right? That's what I'm getting at. That's all what we're getting at, too.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code LAW. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
No doubt. Download now, and that Sleeper get a 100% match up to $100 when you use promo code LAW. Since we are tied in for time, we're going to try to get things moving and grooving today and get out of here around 2:15-ish or what have you. But I really appreciate you guys so much for being part of this. 657-390-7391 is the hotline for your mind. Give us a call in, and we'll see what we can work at from here. But what I'm saying is, please make it real quick. We want to be able to get out of here in a decent time. Thank everybody for jumping in and tuning in. Sadiq Charles, she states, let the AI speak on it.
Sadiqa Charles has arrived. $5. Wow, Law. Bosa is done for the season of the 49ers.
Okay. Bosa done for the season. Hope all is well with the Bosa family. No twin is going to be probably inboxing me and these sorts of things, but they're 3-0, right? Watch how they move. Now, Mykel Williams, I got a lot of dog tweets when I said that I see him as the second best edge rusher. Oh, no. I said Mykel Williams, coming out of this draft, is your best edge. I picked Mykel over Abdul Carter. Some people gave me some flack for that. And then, lo and behold, the Niners, they drafted Mykel Williams. So we'll see what he can do over there for the 49ers land. But, it is for what it is. Is Odell Beckham an option? Hell no. He better not be an option. Shoot. Hell no, man. But shout out to Odell and them, I'm worried now. Whenever we play teams or whenever we pick up players that was from former teams, they tend to lay the egg on us, man. So I don't know, man, but it is for what it is. Cowboy Nation. Let's get it. I got DJ from the 607. You live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Yo, man. Well, I'm mad, man. Yo, honestly, you think we'd be in the same situation if we had Micah?
Similar. It could be similar. A situation whereas if your DBs can't cover and can't hold up, but we won't be in the same situation. Here's the 1,000 truth with Micah. If the Cowboys, think about it, if they signed him early, he would have been in practice, he would have been in camp, meaning that the guys that he go up against, Tyler Guyton, Steele, they will be better because they're going up against an elite pass rusher. So it's a trade-off, right? So our O-line will be better, right? And then we will have more pressure. Not saying that the record will reflect, but we'd be a whole lot better, collectively.
I mean, honestly, we would have had some pass rush, at least something. But this is what I don't get, Law. How do we get worse on the back end, though? We get worse. Diggs is not ready. Let's just say that he's not ready. He's got to sit down. He's got to sit down. And what are you doing, Shotty? We got our number one receiver in the backfield. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, that is the stupidest call I ever seen in the first quarter. Like, we gotta set the tone. You want to set the tone? Set the tone and deep ball to CeeDee. Don't run the ball with it.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, you know what I'm saying? Obviously our defense is trash, but we cannot rely on Dak to win these games for us.
Facts.
You can't.
Yeah.
You just can't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm sitting there watching it. It's good to see Dak doing what he's doing, but like you said, that's not the way to win. It's got to be a decent attack. Run the ball to throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm just because I'm usually not the first one, so I wrote a list. First of all, Tolbert needs to get off the field, man. Why can't we play Mingo? Like, I don't get why.
Mingo's still on IR. Mingo's still on IR.
Okay.
He's still on IR.
Wait, what? We can't get we can't. All right. What? Turbin can't fill that spot.
Facts. I ain't got no argument with
you. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, we got 13 targets for Ferguson. What? That's supposed to be Pickens. Pickens is supposed to get them targets.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then we get Pickens. You get the number one spot. CeeDee's down. You drop the ball, and then you're doing the same tactics on the sideline. You're smashing the thing. We don't need that right now, man. Third game, you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I was watching First Take this morning. Dan Malosky. He goes, the schemer running on defense.
In closing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Wait, Yeah, in the end, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm just so passionate, man. We're not going to go anywhere if we don't get it fixed. Even Salute, you better get that fixed immediately. We got Micah coming in. We got to get this win. We got to get
the win, man. Appreciate you, man.
Micah, yeah. All right, go Cowboys, man.
No doubt, man. My guy, DJ. And once again, I'm not making this only about number 11 when he was here. MP, will this team be better? And a lot of people go back to the Saints game. Right, the Saints was 2-0 at the time. They were, or 1-0, whatever they were. You know, they were undefeated. They had a great game coming off. When you look back at that game, we still had a slew of injuries. We had Carsons who whiffed on a tackle, so we had issues. One can't say that this will be the same every year with Parsons. What I'm saying is, we didn't have to get rid of everything. Right, all we had to do is the whole part of the problem with MP when he was here is that we didn't have a one tech. I think that the Cowboys, if you add Kenny Clark plus a Parsons, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's solidifying the interior, and that's also solidifying your edge rush. You will have pressure. You will have the ability to stop the run. So those are two things that you are correcting. The issue is that the Cowboys have Elam, who's just as bad as Booth, or dare I say, make Anthony Brown look like he's Darrell Reeves. And on top of that, you got a guy that's literally not 100% out of Trayvon Diggs. So we can't compare one year to the next and say that these teams will be the same. It's not how football works. And you guys are trying to paint the picture that everything will be the same for Mike Zim. Double A gap blitzing or double A gap scheme is the same as Matt Eberflus system, which is a vision-based defense. Vision-based defense, how it works is that you create pressure with 4, you drop the others. The Cowboys, in theory, would be a better team if you can create pressure with 4. You got nobody that can win outside of your interior with Kenny Clark and Osa, which you can always navigate that. You can always navigate that. But our edges are not winning, Cowboy Nation. And that's just for what it is. Elam Diggs and number 57 is my guy, Elbert Donaldson. Man, them boys right there, boy. Jeez. I got from the 205, you're live.
What's up, Law?
Not much, man. What's good with you? This is Uncle Charles.
Listen, let me tell you something, Law. I want to say good day to my brothers and sisters out there in Cowboy land. Yeah. Let me say this. A lot of people will say, Uncle Charles, you don't know what the hell you talking about, you crazy. And guess what? I am crazy. I'm crazy enough to know that a drunk man don't tell no lies. It is what it is. Let me say something about you, Law. Mm-hmm. You are intelligent, very well spoken, dressed nice, pretty much the total package. But even you know that they can't sell this bull to us. Yeah. This bull. Let me tell you something. He got Lamb coming at the backfield like a running back. Now we got one fool like McCartney going out, and then we got a new fool coming in. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, God have mercy, Lord. What is the Cowboys doing? What is Jerry Jones doing? Because I remember Winnie the Pooh used to be the sweet little bear, and you cuddle him and everything, and now they don't put a knife in his hand, and now he's killing people. This is what he's doing. Here it is, a bear, supposed to be in the woods, smoking a bear, and now he done broke in somebody's house, and now the bear is on cocaine. See how things change? This is what I'm talking about. Jerry Jones, let me say this to you. Every time you try to do it your way, it never works. And now, Lamb is out. Remember when Dak went out? We had a losing season. Now Lamb done went out. Guess what we're going to have? A losing season. Because all Michael got to do now is pin his ears back and come get it. And that's all he got to do. Thanks to you, Jerry. You send Mike on his way when you should have brought him back in there and signed him. That's what you should have did. So let me say this in closing. I love my Cowboys, but my health comes first. My sanity comes first. My family comes first. God comes first. This is what I'm talking about. And I ain't got time. I got more years in behind me than I got in front of me. And I'm not going to take the ones in front of me and use it for this stupid, rich, old. I was finna go there. I'm going to leave it alone. And I thank you. You have been a number of friend, a number of blessing and a healing to my family, Law. You never, she said, there you go. You watching the Law show. I said, leave me alone now. I'm watching the Law show. Why you bother me? This is what I'm talking about. I love my Cowboy brothers and sisters, but if Jerry Jones don't get on this phone and bring in Amari Cooper or make a trade for a first round pick and get Tyreek Hill to come to Dallas, if he don't do it, we will have a losing season. And that's all I got to say. And I appreciate you, Law.
And appreciate you, Unc, man. Appreciate you for calling in.
Yes, sir.
As Uncle Charles, man, for all that he do for the nation, man. And those are truths, man. I appreciate them. You know, here's what we may have doubts with, and the doubt is within reasons. The doubt is that we don't have trust. If it was an organization that we know that knows how to will and deal and not put this all in the spotlights with these 4 first-round draft picks that we have in the next 2 seasons, we cool with it. But I just went through that list of all of these draft picks, and now people are kind of like, I don't know. Because those draft picks, we lean too much on them draft picks. We know that there's a 3 to maybe 4 year window for these guys to develop and to become something, right? And we do know that the reward of even playing well when you drafted here is a fight to get paid. There's no crazy great incentives with the Cowboys when you get drafted here. When you get drafted here, when it's time for you to get paid, either you're going to get sullied or denigrated, you get value, worth, and you get all of this thrown at you. You get well, you didn't win a Super Bowl with these guys, and there's no realism as it relates to what plan are these guys are going to have. It's either Super Bowl or bust, and that is the finite issue when we start talking about draft picks, which is all a crap shot anyway. But there are some known knowns and known commodities out there versus the unknown. And what we're saying as a fan base, granted, you guys been telling us drafting is the bloodline. But we know that teams won Super Bowls with free agency is much more than just drafting. And that's where we are kind of at with the Cowboys. We don't have that ability to forecast, to utilize some of these picks to get known commodities. And injuries is, of course, a part of the game. All right, I got the next caller on from the 210. You in. Talk to me.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on with you, man? You live on the Nation, brought to you
What's up,
by
Law?
Sleepers. What's good?
So I just want to say, obviously I'm not a professional athlete. I played in college. I watch football religiously. And when I watch the Cowboys' zone defense, it is probably the worst I've ever seen in my life. And it's beyond, like the athlete, the scheme. They don't seem to have any pride. But my real question is, even if you were to replace the defensive coordinator, which you've done the past 4 or 5 seasons, it feels like there's always going to be a sense of lack of pride. Like the Trayvon Diggs on the team don't want to hit anyone. We have Dono who blindlessly wants to hit people, but not the right person. What do you think the Cowboys have to do to actually make a change? Because to me, it feels like we're 8 players away from having a competent defense, which will never make us, a playoff team in a relevant age for longer than a 1-year span. And Dak playing hero ball is all we have to look forward to.
Yeah, the need to win now is a problem, right? And not developing a situation whereas I got to bring in guys that fit my scheme. Now, we can say that Sanborn, Murray could be Eberflus scheme guys, right? But they're not. At the end of the day, they may be, but they're not good enough. I think that if the Cowboys were bringing in Eberflus, right, you need to bring in his skills. Like, for example, Trayvon Diggs, he's not a press cover corner right now because he's coming off of recovery. We didn't make no major moves to rectify that. Elam, he's playing a lot of zone. Eberflus system is more press, and he's getting cooked. So we still have old bodies. Like, I don't know if Malik Hooker or, to that degree, Donovan Wilson will fit into these coverage abilities of what Eberflus is trying to do. This is not an excuse for him, but it takes normally 2 to 3 years for defenses to be here. But Cowboys, our patience are already ran thin because we want to win now, but our moves are not to say that we're trying to win now. And that is the part of the problem right here. Nobody's on the same page. You got Jerry Jones thinking one thing, and then you got a coaching staff that's thinking another, and that's part of the problem.
That makes sense, Law. And just last thing, my question, or on the offensive side of the ball, we already talked about kind of Schoonmaker and how he's a waste of a draft pick, whatever. What is up with Hunter Lipke, and why is there no way of, like I saw Kyle Juszczyk catch a touchdown this week for the 49ers. We just paid him. We don't use him in the offense. I feel like we have a lot of payment issues to where we pay players because of, like, skill rather than actual skill.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you wanted to say, okay, prove it years, I mean, you could have put that money, because it was like 52. All right, we paid $60 million to, basically, if you combine Hunter Lupke and as well as Ferguson. None of those guys, if you really think about it, warranted that type of money because of the simple fact they both coming off of their worst years. And unfortunately, the Cowboys thought that they can be cute and get ahead of it and say, okay, we pay our own guys. When you could have then, in return, utilized that, packaged up some things, get you a known dog that's in the building that's been in high ends of production levels. But that's the story of a whole different day, bro. It'll take me hours to break that down. But I thank you for calling in. Good call from him. And let me just say this again. And this is not me putting any knives towards Ferguson. It's just for what it is. Everybody else had to go through prove it that if they value or worth this particular money. But Ferg coming off his worst season ever, right, and got $52 million. Hunter, we didn't even utilize him last year, right? And he got his bag. So at the end of the day, those two are just examples. But how do this help the bottom line? We sitting on $40 million now. Are we going to really go out there? We can't use, like the Cowboys and painted themselves into this corner. We can't really use the excuse of, hey, we got to save this money to pay X, Y, and Z. We paid everybody. We got 4 first-round draft picks in the next 2 seasons with $40 million. You would think that the Cowboys would get off of their hiney and go get somebody that could be a difference maker now, right? That's what teams that really feeling like they are within the window. I don't think the Cowboys feel like they are in that window. I think we need to ask these beat reporters. I'm going to ask John Machota to ask this question to Jerry. Do you feel as if, though, this team is within the confines of a Super Bowl window? Do you feel that we can go all in now, mid-season? Dwight Barrow states, everybody keep blaming Flus, but not realizing these the same corners and safeties that got torched by Green Bay. I'm tired. Get them up out of here now. Yeah, I mean, collectively, you're right. Hooker, Dono, Elam wasn't here, but Diggs was, right? Gilmore was here. And one of the problems when we played against Green Bay is because Gilmore had a separated shoulder and he couldn't get back into press, they played zone. Curse, Gilmore, they looked like lost childs, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't look right. So, Dwight, you're right, DB. You're right. You are absolutely right with that. Speaking of DB, I got DP on the line, man. What's good with you? You live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on? Salute to you, Law. As
Salute.
always, I appreciate you giving me a chance to speak on your channel.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I know you.
Oh, excuse me, Diggs was
was
hurt. Yeah, Diggs was hurt in that playoff game. But go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, yeah, he was. But yeah, I try to make this one quick. To your point that you said, $40 million cap space, 4 first-round picks. If they don't try to go out and make any moves, I mean, that just shows you that. I mean, they're not really trying to win. Like, I get some people think Jerry wants to win his way, but the bottom line is his way doesn't work, and it hasn't worked, and it's never going to work, at least in my opinion. And, you know, I was very confused about why they stopped giving the ball to Javonte Smith, and I came up with this crazy theory.
Williams, yeah.
Me personally, Javonte Williams, yeah. I feel like I got this little crazy theory. And kind of to what Boss Cowboys, I think he said something along the lines about how they treat the free agents like bastard children. It's like they're so weird about when it comes to their free agent signings. And I just think that because it looked like Javonte, it looked like he's poised for it to have a good season. But like I feel like they want to limit his carries and limit the amount of touchdowns he could possibly score, so they can try to lowball him when it's time to pay him. Because if he has a good season, that means that's going to command a bigger contract, and that's going to be a contract that the Joneses aren't willing to pay. Because I've never really seen them re-sign any of their free agents that they pick up that they sign to these little 1-year deals. It's like they keep them for that 1-year deal, and then they just let them go. You know,
no doubt, DP. Yeah. I'm gonna answer that. But appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, bro.
For the life feed. Yeah, so I appreciate that.
I mean, I can't put nothing past that, but jeez. If you're already thinking about money in this week 3, man, just win the game. We got bigger problems and bigger fish to fry, but if we literally counting reps right now, and that could be a realism thing. Cole Beasley didn't lie just to kick it that day when he said that those things happen. And Dez said the same thing. So there's 2 accounts, right? And I think someone else said the same thing. I think it was Marty B. So those are 3 things, 3 occurrences. And I know if anybody dig down and do their research is Boss Cowboy Sports. But, man, that's crazy, man. We doomed if that is even close for this season. We're doomed until somebody see the dirt, taste the dirt, be near the dirt, and I'm talking about the owner. Too cool, man. You're live on the Nation, man. Talk to me.
Law.
What's up?
What's good with you today?
Hey, all is well, man. What you got for me? Make it quick.
Hey, what's Green Bay record?
2-1 or something like that.
And we 1-2.
And we 1-2. Yep.
So we beat them. They 2-2 and we 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Man, hey, everybody need to calm down. If you play football and you see the team that the Cowboys is playing, we got to understand that our players don't go into the preseason and play. They thought that because they was playing the Chicago Bears, it was a fine time to put CeeDee Lamb in the backfield and experiment. Which they found out after that one running play that it was not the time to experiment with the receiver in the backfield, right? So we can't get into this whole counting the reps that Williams is getting and CeeDee Lamb in the backfield. Turpin should have been in the backfield if you want to do something like that. That should have been a Turpin kind of play. I'm curious, though. How many sacks did Michael Parsons have last night against probably the worst team in the NFL?
I don't know. You tell me.
He ain't have none. Even if we had Michael Parsons, and if you can look and be on the outside and scream at the TV and scream at what you would and should and what you could do. But bro, when you go back to the game, I don't care if we had Michael Parsons and Myles Garrett. When Trayvon Diggs got burnt off that line, and it looked like somebody was dragging him in a fight by the hair, and that man got 20-yard separation for a wide-open touchdown, it don't matter who you got on defensive line. They scoring that touchdown if you're in the NFL and you're a wide receiver and you wide open like that. That man had Trayvon Diggs beat by 25 yards, Lo. That's the second play of the game. Then they hit him with a trick play for 65 yards with Luther Burton, who ain't had a touchdown and 3 catches in no games. So we sit here and we keep saying, hey, it's the defensive line, it's the linebackers. No, at some point, Trayvon Diggs get paid like a damn top 10 player on the defensive side of the ball as a cornerback. If you hurt, tell the damn coaches and get out of the game. I'm with Foster King right now. If Trayvon Diggs there hurt, get him out.
Here's my thoughts, and I really appreciate you calling in too, Cool. Diggs not ready. He's not.
Take him out, Law. Law,
who else you gonna put in?
Pick is. What's the third round pick, Law?
Who our third round pick? He's hurt.
But no, what do you always say a third round pick is? What do you always say a third round pick is? Somebody that's ready to go, right?
Yeah. What would you getting at?
Yeah, because we took Revell, the ECU cornerback, in the third round.
Oh yeah, you talking about Revell?
If he wasn't ready, we shouldn't have drafted him. Should have got somebody else. I see what Jerry Jones going.
In closing,
I kind of get where he's going. But in closing, Law, we still got to remember, everybody got to calm down. We get mad when Jerry Jones intervened in the team and everything. Jerry Jones ain't out there calling plays. Jerry Jones ain't out there on the damn field. So a lot of this Jerry Jones slander he getting right now, man, let these picks play out. And truth be told, from 21 to 25 right now, ain't been no promising draft class either. I'm talking about the top 3 rounds. It ain't been no promising. Look, you go back to 2021, that whole damn quarterback class, ain't none of them starting in the NFL.
Appreciate you for calling in too, Cool. Thank you, man. The Rams drafted pretty well, even though they lost yesterday. The Eagles drafted really well as well. You know what I'm saying? All right, so when we talk about this, let me go pull up the Cowboys.com. And when I pull this up, we're going to try to boom. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Teams. Look at the depth chart. And from a coaching aspect, when we say
Quinton Warner $5. I respect what this caller is saying, however. If you don't get pressure of love, you are going to lose, period.
Yeah, you're gonna lose, period. We got 0 pressures. So when I pull up this depth chart, who you putting in? You think that CJ Goodwin is a good choice? You bench Trayvon, you say he's not ready, he good choice, right? You think a guy that was cut, was undrafted, Bridges, is a good choice? We got no moves. We are top heavy. No ass at all. Just full breast. Look good sitting down, stand up. Hey, sliding boy booty. We got nothing, y'all. No BBLs, nothing, man. And I don't know how many analogies I can make, but a guy with a half of a leg is all we have is Trayvon Diggs and Elam. Who else can play DB? Bland is hurt. Reddy, I see Reddy flash here and there, but ain't really ready like that. We got no DBs. We are literally, what that Cheeto? We are literally that. That's who we are. With the expectations to still win the game. Unfortunately. So 2 things can be true. They was going to score that touchdown off of that play, regardless of whether Raheem was out there on defense, Quinton Warner was on defense, Newhouse, anybody that was on defense covering Rome would have scored. If you bench Diggs, So when I was saying all offseason to bring in that veteran DB, to bring in this guy, even while Diggs was running the sands, not even out there in training camp, in preseason. Keep in mind, he haven't even played those things. Can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. At some point, we got to understand that. The Cowboys are just not ready. We don't have depths. We have no sense of urgency. We are operating out of comfort. This is the only team in the National Football League that can do that. Any other GM right now would have been on the phone calling Mike Hilton, would have been trying to scour throughout the other team's roster and saying, hey, let's bring in, I'll give you a 5th round or a 6th round pick for this guy. Come on, man. Hey, man, the owner busted my chops, man. If I can't get these guys in the building, I'll be working at Walmart, Uber Eats. I'll be bagging groceries. Or I have to go back to working as a paralegal or something. That's what these GMs will be saying. But the Cowboys have the ultimate ability to operate out of comfort. We don't have depths. I agree with the caller. Diggs not ready. Diggs shouldn't be out there. Bench him, whatever. Have y'all seen C.J. Goodwin? Donovan Wilson is Ed Reed compared to C.J. Goodwin on coverage ability. And even if we were a real team, Donovan Wilson would have gone, but CJ would have been gone. What allows CJ to be here for all of these years, taking up roster space and spot? You haven't seen CJ down there, even though we talk about his special team stuff. He's been here as office furniture. I don't know what tapes that he have on the front office or the Jones family to that degree, or Stephen Jones. But the man have 9 lives. He's taken up a valuable spot here on this team for multitudes of years. And we talk about what value he brings to the special teams. He was good 5 years ago. We bottom half on special teams. Next caller, from the 253, man. You're live on the Nation, man.
There you go.
There you go. What's good?
Hey, what's going on, Law?
Not much, man.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
Schottenheimer's mantra since he got the job was compete every day, correct?
Facts.
So why is it that he didn't even legitimize his mantra by letting it play out of camp? Jake Ferguson does not impress me. Maybe he's recovering from an injury. Schoonmaker and Mazda should have been gone a year ago. But my question is for the coach.
Mm-hmm.
If you say compete every day, then why is Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson still on the team? They cut Izzy McQuamo.
Mm-hmm.
They won't let Zion Childress play. So We don't have the depth. You are correct. We do not have the depth. But did Schottenheimer hire Eberflus or did Jerry?
I appreciate you calling in, man. Thank you, bro.
Yep, appreciate it.
Jimmy the Greek, man. Talk to me, man. Talk to me, man, from the 781. Talk to me.
Oh, Allah, man. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know what to say what that hasn't already been said. I'm going to be telling you right now, I'm 54 years old. I've been a diehard Cowboys fan since I was 9 years old.
Right.
I mean, I'm from Massachusetts, you know what I'm saying? And when I live for this team, I don't like this team. I love this team. And when they lose, it hurts.
Right.
You know, my wife yesterday was like, "You're in a bad mood." I'm like, "God damn right I'm in a bad mood."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're in a lot of trouble, brother. The defense is in shambles.
Right.
And it starts up front where we're not getting any pressure whatsoever, where they were banking on players getting pressure, but they're not getting pressure. Then the safeties are garbage. They've been garbage, but they choose not to make any moves. The corners are not playing well.
Right.
The defense is really in bad shape, and what that is doing, and you'll agree, it's putting a lot of stress on the offense to always be perfect. And that's just a recipe for disaster, man. And I just don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're going to do. But, you know, I hope they make some moves. I hope people come back and this defense improves. But as of now, it's not looking promising, my man, and I know you agree on that.
Most certainly, man. I appreciate you calling in. That's my guy, Jimmy. Yeah. Cowboys definitely going to have to make some movement. And just to, not to, I had to collect my thoughts for the other caller who called in earlier. It's money. It's a money play. I got to see my money on the field. Regardless, I can't have my man making $5 to $6 million on the sideline. I got to see my money out there on the field, and that's just how it is. That's the Cowboys' way. It's favoritism, it's moneytism, is all of those things. You know, unfortunately, man, that's where we at. That's where we at in Cowboys world. All right, we approaching that time frame, and y'all try to make it quick for those who's on here. We got it's impossible for me to get into everybody, right? So just try to make it quicker. All right, I got A. Lou, then I got VIP, and then I got Walker Wade. Okay, A. Lou, you're live.
Low. Hey, man. And the problem is if they're still playing this cover 2 and everybody knows that this cover 2 has been flawed since what, 05?
Yeah.
07? They figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
That Eberflus was a Jerry hire because he thought he was making up because he should have hired him back when he went to the Colts and made him the defense coordinator. So we already know that that's why he's here. Now you have to have his personnel on the field to run that defense. You can't have man corners playing zone. That's not what they do. That's why you're getting your 10 and 8 yard cushions because they don't know how to read and react off of that.
Yeah.
They know how to read and react when they're in your face.
In face, yeah.
So, but last point, these safeties, and I'm going to harp on these safeties because I wanted to get rid of both of them 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
These safeties are not, they're not cover safeties. Hooker still hasn't recovered from that injury, and Dono is a linebacker masquerading around as a safety. He's our version of Roy Williams with less publicity.
Yeah.
Because he can't cover. He can, if he hits you square, he's good, but outside of that, it's a wrap. I don't understand why we can't rotate our safeties. How is Dono the captain of the defense and he's that bad? That makes no sense. Yeah. Also, last point. Tell me one player that can play on somebody else's team that is on our defensive side right now, outside of Trayvon Diggs.
On someone else's team, it's like the starter, like?
Yeah, Kenny Clark. All right, Kenny Clark. Outside of that, we're playing with a bunch of backups and trying to see what we got.
Kenny,
Jerry is
Osa,
out.
yeah, Kenny, Osa, maybe Lil Fowl if he goes to like another team. I mean, Elam will be probably a rotational DB. But the other guys, they will have to fight for playing time. They had to fight for
All
it.
right, so
But to that argument,
three or four out of
Nashawn
11.
Wright. Yeah, Nashawn Wright was the guy that we thought that was dog water, right? That we traded Andre Booth for, and he went to Chicago. Now he got hurt or what have you. But he started when another guy got hurt and performed well. So I don't know, man. It's just for what it is, bro.
It is what it is, but at the same time, they gave him a chance to play. Sometimes
yeah.
these players, you got to just throw them in the game and see what they got. Not everybody's a practice player. Ask Dak. He was trash in practice.
Facts.
Not everybody's a practice player. You got to put some people in the fire and see what they got. But until this Jerry way of doing things is gone, it's never going to change. We're literally trying to cycle. We're cycling through our defensive players. Like you said, we've lost DeMarcus Ware.
But good call from you,
lost
Lou. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so
all
much,
of them.
man.
Yeah.
Good call from him. Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna say, man. There are different levels of leaderships. There are, your veteran leader who's been around here for a while, and that's how Dono been here since 2019. So he was here. Damn, that's the Garrett administration. He was here. Garrett administration. Mike McCarthy, he survived that administration. He survived the Dan Quinns. He survived the Mike Nolans. He's been here even with the Rob Marinellis. But he started to blossom a little bit with Dan Quinn closer to the LOS, right? And then, of course, he was here last year for Mike Zims. So he's been here. That's veteran leadership, right? Because you just been the old guy that's been here, right? Then there are vocal leaders, guys that's rah-rah talk, you know what I'm saying, and can lead people, right? There are inspirational leaders. Like, they don't talk, they don't really do those things, but when they on the field, people say, they the difference maker. You got those inspirational leaders. Unfortunately, regardless of how y'all say it, and regardless of how y'all feel about this, but Micah, he was that person that's on the field that gave you that little bump. When it's not all about sacks every time. It's about, hey, I lined this guy up in the A gap, and he's a smaller size of frame guy, and he was able to get the sack. Remember this. You don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the tape. He had 8 to 9 sacks from the interior. Close your eyes and imagine what he would do damages now if you had a Kenny Clark in an Osa with a Parsons being able to scoop down inside. Now, I know there's water under the bridge now, but when it was time to move on from him, Jerry Jones is a salesman. I got to do what I need to do best to brighten up my product, right? Of the reason why I got to sell you guys on why I need to get rid of this guy who's a pain in my side for paying $47 million, who had David Mulugeta to try to school me on a few things, which I took it personal. I got to sully. I got to denigrate. There's no player that left the Cowboys organization, whether you liked them or not, when it was time for them to move on, that they didn't have those scars. I got to put bad name on them so that I can make myself look good in this situation. Marty B was considered terrible. Martellus Bennett, whatever his name was. I had to sully him. He wasn't performing well in practice. I had to tell people that Dez Bryant was a cancer before I let him go. I have to be able to strengthen my image, sully, and put some type of taint on this product. I had to let y'all know that DeMarco Murray, even though he won Offensive Player of the Year, but that fumble really cost us in that game. He fumbled a lot. It was a lot of meat on the bone. So I'm going to elevate number 21. At that time, his name was, I forgot, Randall Joseph, something like that. That's just how it goes. Yeah. I had to tell T.O., I had to draw it on a napkin. There's you and there's me. But this bigger star is the Cowboys. And we have to part ways. He didn't have to leave T.O. After he done gave T.O. $30, $40 million. And Chanel, that's the only way I can explain the past. If I erase the past, then we will continue to do the past. If I tell you that the people that look like me were never in bondages, never had to work for 400 years for free, right, with whips on their back, then that can happen again. So I have to tell the people that's here that looks like me when I'm raising them to say, hey, these are the things that happen. I want to let you know that, yes, this may be the world as we know now. But if it wasn't for the people like me, this wouldn't exist. So that's why it's important for us to be sure to not just tell their version of the history, but to tell all of the history. And I hate to take it that deep, but that's just for what it is. Appreciate you. I got from the 860, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me, VIP.
Lord, I'm going to be brief. I'm in front of my son's school. I don't want police running up on me. But, Lord, there's a lot of schism going on. Nepotism, racism, ignoranceism. There's a lot of schism popping off. 30 years, Lord, there's nobody that can have a job and maintain a job and not do their job and not be held accountable. Mm-hmm. We went into this off-season, Lord, knowing that we have a hole in a defensive tackle and a cornerback who's hurt. And, Lord, talk to me. Tell me what we did in the offseason to help that, Lord. And these ignorant, delusional Cowboy fans are being so smoking that hopium, saying, oh, yeah, well, that was a good move. He got rid of Parsons. Parsons not only made sacks, but created pressure. I want every goddamn freaking delusional Cowboy fan to go back. I was watching this goddamn game with my son, and I said, son, I want you to count how many Mississippis every time he dropped back, the average of 5 seconds that cornerback had. And you talk about our goddamn cornerbacks. Any cornerback, no cornerback can cover for 5 seconds. Not even prime time. Not even me. Stop. Yeah. I wish somebody would come on here and blame our quarterback. We on a goddamn 5-yard line, and we passed 5 times.
Yeah, running.
I'm getting out of here, Lord. I love you. I love them Cowboys. Man, get the F out of here.
No doubt, no doubt. It's VIP. He's still hot. And the only reason why I'm bringing it up, it just hit me. There were people siding with the Joneses, and people were saying, that's a good move. I'll never forget. It's a good move. D. Ware. He got a half of a neck. He's no good. He's always hurt. He never shows up in the postseason. He's not that good, y'all. We won't miss him. If we don't talk about these things, it will repeat itself. Now, damn it, I do not want the Green Bay Packers to fool around and figure things out. And, yes, you're going to lose some games. It's not like the Denver Broncos won every game that year, right? So what I'm trying to bring home to everything is that if you don't understand, you will repeat the same thing. DeMarcus Ware on his way out was considered, oh, man, that's a good move by the Cowboys. He's always stayed hurt. They got rid of him good. Y'all remember that? Let me know if y'all old enough to remember that. You know, I got Glenn out of Philly, and then I have the 214 and Walker Wade. Hold tight for me, man. Glenn out of Philly, man, from the 215. You live.
What's up, Law? Put that on a T-shirt. No DBs and no BBLs.
No DBs and no BBLs. Hey, we are top heavy though. You know, you got my theory or my analogy on that, right? You know, come on.
Two quick questions before I make my point. You always make me laugh. 2 quick questions. One, Was the girl going to the shower, or was she getting a snack and getting back to the pool at Michael Irvin's house?
I ain't gonna talk about unk activities, man. You know.
And the other question: what did Winnie the Pooh ever do to Uncle Charlie, man? Why you gotta bring Winnie the Pooh in this, man?
Man, it's just a friendly, cute, and cuddly bear, and people have to have their ideology that some people fall in love with the animations of bears, right? And they see a real bear, and they think they're gonna get that same animation. You know, that real bear gonna eat them up without the hunt.
I love Uncle Charlie can tie it all together.
He can.
Winnie the Pooh, like get your name out my mouth.
Yeah.
Get my name out your mouth.
Yeah.
Yo, if we was driving, right, and I saw this building, I said, Lord, let's partner up, man. Let's go get a rest. Let's go make this building into a restaurant. You go, yeah, Glenn, you got a staff? I said, yeah. You got a chef? Well, he's actually a baker, but he can cook all right. He said, okay, Glenn, you got a sous chef? Well, the sous chef, she's really better at the front of the house. She's not really a great sous chef. But, all right, what about a bartender? Well, the bartender, like, he's a carpenter, but, like, he can make a drink or two. All right, well, how about the host? Well, the host is really an accountant. That's how you sound when you was explaining our secondary.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go into business with me if I can't put the right people in the right place, right position?
No way.
Hey, when you were saying that, I was like, well, what if I came up with a plan? And all these people I said that can work for us, and that's our staff, none of them specialize in what they could do. Would you go into business with me?
No, I wouldn't, man.
And you would not. You would not. And before I let you go, my man talking about calm down and cool out, and it ain't Jerry's fault. Is he serious? 30 years of this? And then he said, let's see what happens when what we're going to do with these picks. But then he said, but the drafts coming up ain't going to be that good. So, I mean, I'm like, he had me spinning. Yeah. He had me spinning. How are you going to calm down if this has been going on for 30 years?
Yeah, it's been going on for a
I'm
minute.
going to calm down, but you can't take Jerry's side on this. And before I go, yes, if Micah was here, you add on to Micah. Everybody's saying, if Micah was there last night, Micah, you add on to what you have.
Yo.
You don't get better by subtracting. Have a great night, Law. Keep doing what you're doing. God bless.
Man, amen. Appreciate you, guy. That's my guy from the 2-1. 1-5. Shout out to him. And let me go all right, let me go back since 2022. And I'm looking at the Rams picks. Kyron Williams. He's making plays for him. Kendricks, he's making plays for him. Kobe Turner, he's making plays for him. In 2023, Puka Nacua, he's making plays for the Rams, right? And they did a great reset already. Steve Avila, he's making plays for him. Byron Young making plays for him. These guys are playing. And this is the Rams organization. Blake Corum, he's making plays for him. Braden Fisk, Jared Verse, he's making plays for him. Hunter, he's of course this is 2025 now. We'll see how they work out from there. These guys are making plays for them, and I'm not trying to say that the Cowboys don't have guys that's not making plays. But let me go in. And let's pull up the Eagles. And I hate this team, but we're just going to look at the resumes, right? Hurts in 2020, he making plays for him, right? Landon Dickerson's, Milton Williams, he was there, he's gone. Kenneth Gainwell, I don't know where he's at, but Devontae Williams, Landon Dickerson, they making plays for that team. Nakobe Dean, to a degree. Jordan Davis. Cam Jurgens is considered a household name over there for the Eagles now. Morrill is making plays for him. Carter, Nolan Smith, Tyler Steen, Sidney Brown. They making plays for him. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Jalix Hunt, Shipley, to a degree. I'm just looking at this list. They made plays for him. I've seen Jihad Campbell, McCruber. These guys are making plays for that team. And I'm not sitting here saying that the Cowboys don't have the ability to make plays for them. But the difference is that there's no major public outcry for their owner talking. You don't know what their owner sound like, and the owner's son, you don't know what they sound like, right? So, yeah, you can still draft, but you don't lean everything on the draft. You're going to have to figure out ways to will and deal as well. We one-sided. We leaning on draft picks, baby. Other teams don't lean everything only on draft picks. And that's what I'm getting at. MJ, did I talk to you already? What's up?
No, you ain't talking to me.
Okay, you and Dan walk away. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just gave up. You know me, I'm usually positive. I gave up. I'm done. It's no matter. If you have Parsons, he still is going to get scored on. The defensive scheme is wrong, man.
Yeah.
He talking about the Parsons went to 40. Man, come on, man. I put the tackle and the tight end over there. You stopped him. Ain't nobody else getting to a bum. See, y'all not looking, man. You got to stop. Even if you have Parsons, you're getting beat. The defense, the linebackers out of position. The corners get torched because they don't know how to play the zone. The safeties. I watched the Kansas City game last night, just to give y'all a good idea. I watched the Kansas City game. He tried to do that stupid stuff that he did against Dallas. 3 interceptions, y'all, by the safety.
Yeah.
Comprehensive football. You guys are not watching. Go watch the Kansas City. I watched the Kansas City game. Interception. And all the Giant fans they pissed off at Russell Wilson. And then guess what's going to happen this week? Caleb is going to do the same thing for the back. So everybody that played the Cowboys, they're going to score. They're going to throw for 340 yards. Then you play sorry ass 58 again. Took the young rookie out of the game that was playing better than him. Oh, they ran 11 times because when number 95 got injured, Mozzie in the game, they ran 11 straight times. That's what, and y'all not seeing it.
Yeah,
so
man.
if y'all keep on here thinking that we gonna win,
it closing. Yeah, it closing.
In closing, I think we probably won't win another game this year.
No doubt, man.
I think we're going to go 1-17. You know me, Law. I usually be like 12, 13. Man, the competent defensive coordinator. You know when you got that pride and you won't change. And you know in the Bible, pride get you won't make the kingdom with that pride. And we ain't going to make it to nowhere because our coaches got pride, y'all. And one more thing. Play number 19 and start playing your receivers. Because I'm keep looking. If number 19, I'm going to say it again. If number 19 was playing for the Rams, he'll be one of the most dangerous receivers because he can get off his, he's fast, he's powerful. Yeah. And I gave up, no.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. Walker Wade, man, and then we'll close with 214, man. Walker Wade, man, what's good with you, man?
Hey, Law, how you doing?
Man, doing great, man.
You know, you've been talking about, you've been bringing up the draft, the last 5 years. We haven't drafted well.
Right.
And we're entering in them Dave Campo years, y'all, like literally where the team fell apart from the 90s. They were drafting bad, and they weren't doing nothing in free agency. That's exactly what's going on right now. And it makes it even worse when you have Steven, I remember him say, I don't know, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I remember him saying on the radio that if you have to go out in free agency, that means you did bad in the draft.
Right.
But what does it matter, Steven? Who cares if you have to go out in free agency if you're getting Pro Bowl players who are going to make an impact? You obviously don't draft well the last 5 years. So you got to go out in free agency. So now that they've refused to go out in free agency and they ain't drafted well, look at us now. Look at us. We're in terrible shape. I don't know how we're going to crawl out of this. Getting rid of Micah, what's the point if you're going to draft bad? What's the point? It just I don't know where we go from here along. I just don't know. And then hold on, I got to say something about the DeMarcus Ware thing.
Yeah,
I got to bring that up. Hold on. Remember Cowboys Nation? What was our record next year? We went 12-4. You think DeMarcus Ware may have helped that 2014 season?
Man, he would. Boy, Aaron Rodgers was hopping around with one leg, man.
You think DeMarcus Ware could have helped us get to that NFC title game? Go figure. Leave it to Jerry Jones in the front office to fuck that up.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you calling in. Jeez, you're right, man. Peeling off the wounds, man. And people were like, yeah, see, we better without DeMarcus Ware. And I was like, hey. That was before I got on YouTube, though. I wish I was on YouTube during that time frame. It was way before I got on YouTube. But I recall, yeah, man, this team is winning now. We got to the formula. We just cut the dead weight. No need to pay him this and that. And then 2015, I believe, where ultimately, was it 14 or 15, the Broncos won the Super Bowl? It was one of those years. I think 14, they made it to the Super Bowl. And they got walked. They got dog walked by the Seahawks. Or am I a year wrong? I could be a year wrong. But I know they won the Super Bowl with D-Ware. 214, you live. You're live on the nation with me, man. 214, talk to me.
Yo, what's up, Lo?
What's up?
Hey, man, this is my first time checking in with you, bro. This is RK, man. You know what I'm saying?
RK, man.
And I wanted to just say, man, that I've been a Cowboy fan for a long time, like everybody else pretty much in the chat. And I think Jerry, he runs the team like just like a carnival show that comes in and out of town. You know what I'm saying? He's all about the spectacle, the glitz, the glamour, but he ain't about the X's and O's when it comes to day-to-day operations. You know what I mean? Right. And he's made sure he set up the power structure to where nobody can come in and override him. He's been so pissed off since Jimmy Johnson put on a display from coaching from a collegiate level to coming into the NFL and taking a sorry team from 1-15 to 9-7, if I'm not mistaken, to 13-3 and winning back-to-back Super Bowls in result that could have been the first team to ever three-peat in the NFL. But he was so pissed off that Jimmy Johnson got the acknowledgement from that he made sure once they had a falling out that nobody was ever going to be able to little boy him again, as we say in the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think this guy, he's been watching too many old Dallas TV shows, and he want to be fucking what's that guy's name from Dallas? The guy JR. He want to be like JR or something, bro. You know what I'm saying? He want to be the face of the team, but not known for being the face of a successful team. And that's the problem I have with him, because he doesn't do what it takes. He knows the cries of the fans. He knows we sitting here ordering and shit. He knows he's in the city. He knows what goes on in the city when the Dallas Cowboys lose. But it drives business for him. It drives gossip. It drives traffic. And nobody on the 105.3 or any other multimedia site is going to challenge his decision-making. 80-year-old GM, nobody has it in sports. He should have been gone 20 years ago if we was just judging him off of basic moves to get the Cowboys into a successful winning team. So we know what it is. We've been stuck with it for 30 years. The fans, we all got Stockholm syndrome because we all show up year after year expecting something different.
Yep.
So it is what it is. Salute to you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, man. Good call from your RK. Yeah. I mean, RK said it really well to us, man.
Goodbye.
Stockholm syndromes, man. A third of us was fans of this team before Jerry Jones bought the team, and just to be fair to those individuals, I commend all of us, man. I commend most of the people that's fans of this team post like 97 or something, if you're a fan of this team post 97, put like a 1 in the chat, because you are ultimately a diehard Cowboy fan, because you never got a chance to see. You only heard the storylines of us winning, right? You never got a chance to see us do anything of winning. And those are the truths right there, It is for what it is, Cowboy Nation. We live in this world that we want what's best for this team because we love this team. But this team don't love us. They love what we bring. Jerry Jones said from his mouth to everybody's ears, I'm doing this for my kids, for my offsprings. I read in the good book that, a great father leave inheritance for his offsprings, right? And this is what he's doing. He's leaving this legacy behind for his offsprings. It had nothing to do with us. If it was about winning, ultimately, then he'll step away. You can still get all of the shine, all of the glory by just being the owner. He would still get the same amount of success. But egos, write this down, edging God out. And there was another documentary, not the one that he did, the gamblers and his pet or whatever, and his millions, whatever, not the one that's on Netflix. But when he got rid of Jimmy, he said, I would never allow someone to have that much control again. I'm going to be in control of the socks, the jocks, the color of the Kool-Aid, Gatorade, uniforms. I'm in control. I'm never going to split that responsibility again. Jimmy wasn't just a head coach. He was over player personnel. So that's where we at. We're going to read off these super chats, man, and I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all to the moon and back. If we offended anyone tonight or today, charge it to my head, not my heart. Look at all these super chats, man. Look at all of these super chats that my guy, Too Cool in them. We're going to see if I can get AI Tisha to read some of this and help HBO me. You know what I'm saying? AI Tisha, come on with it. Let's see if she's going to get this thing going.
Too Cool $4.99. Who is ready via trade? Why did the Rams get Ramsey that year? He wanted out. There is no rumors of players available.
All right, so talking about the year that Ramsey made it to the Rams. I mean, players all the time going to want out. You're going to have to make that dance. You're going to have to will and deal. Now, right now, the season is still fresh. It's young. We're only 3 games in. It's not time to wave the Cowboys flag. Where my flag at? Where them flags at? Where them? Oh, here we go. It's not time to wave the flag around here. You know what I'm saying? It's still early. All right? It's not time to wave it. Right? But sometimes you don't have to be a weatherman. You don't have to be the weatherman to look up and say, hey, man, that's a rain cloud. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to you don't have to be a traffic police, or you don't have to be that person. You don't have to know how to drive to tell people to get out the street. Cars coming, right? You get what I'm saying?
Too Cool $4.99. Was they injected to the youth? I think they will be fine. CeeDee injury shows that Blue shouldn't be playing.
I mean, I agree with you with that. Wait a minute. Should be playing, right? CeeDee injury shows that Blue should be playing. Yeah, I agree with you with that,
Too Cool $1.99. I know I wouldn't give up a first for Hill.
I wouldn't give up a first for Hill either. I mean, he's north of 30, right? And he have DV issues. They may sweep it under the rug because he's playing for Miami, but he playing for the Cowboys. That's the mandatory 6-game suspension. There'll be egg on the Cowboy faces.
Too cool $1.99. Some people act like you make trades during the GM. Dwight Barrow, $1.90.
Some people act like you make trades during the GM. You got to expound upon that, too cool. I don't know what you mean right there, bro. I don't know what you mean.
99 cents. I understand that law, but pay the right players.
Yeah, you do got to pay the right players. Don't lean them over and bend them over and go through the rigmaroles of fighting. Regardless of it, Parsons, and I hate to bring this up, and I know y'all don't want to bring this up, but he wanted to get paid last year. Cowboys didn't want to interact with that. That's the difference of 47 versus 32, 33. The longer you wait, the more you're going to have to pay.
Too cool, $1.99. Caleb Down and KJ Bolden coming soon.
And we all been down that road, too cool, because what happens ultimately is that we see guys that we want and they draft for Mozzie. We see guys that we want and they draft for LVE. To a degree, a lot of us didn't even want Tyler Booker when we drafted Tyler Booker. A lot of us didn't want Tyler Guyton. We drafted Tyler Guyton. A lot of us didn't want Mozzie, but the Cowboys did. So, and the verdict is still out on Guyton and Booker, of course. I want and I hope that Booker be solid. But it is for what it is, Cowboy Nation. So those were the super chats. Appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. Cowboys Nation, let's stand tall or not at all. If we offended anyone, charge it to my beard, not my heart. We went extremely over time. I'm supposed to end it at 2. But I see that, this show was, I guess, necessary for those. And I appreciate each and every last one of you all. Newhouse says, hey, if I hear one more too cool for $1.99, hey, man, all of this money, man, appreciate him, man. It helped me out down the stretch, man. I thank you. To be fair, Parsons lobbied for Mozzie. Yeah. And there goes to show you. Ooh, wee. I didn't know I would be able to end with something that great. Alex Burrows, call back tomorrow. If you've seen the length of the line of the calls, it was long, so I couldn't take everybody call today. Players, even though they lobby for players, coming out of the draft, we heard that Troy Aikman lobbied for David LaFleur, and he became dog water. We heard storylines for even Dak Prescott lobbying for Jalen Tolbert. Let me know how that goes. Michael Parsons lobbied for a big body guy to help out in the interior with great intentions, like a Mozzie. But there's reasons why we don't allow a 20-year-old guy in certain rooms. The reason why we compound years of experiences, those who watch every finite tape to get these guys in the right directions. If I hired you to do your job, there could be people with advice. There can be people with instructions to pursue certain things. But it's up to the one that's in charge to make the final decision. Hey, I'm lobbying for God right now. Bless me with $1 billion right now. Right now, God, bless me with the $1 billion. You know. He can do it for me, but it got to be in his will. You say you ever want to make the creator laugh? Tell him about your plans. Tell him about what you're going to do. And that should be the same way for these owners. They should be able to make sure that they have the finite reasons for this team already in line. They should already have a structure in place. Not just for this year, but 3 years from here, 6 years from here, 9 years from here. And the Cowboys don't have a plan. They don't have a plan at all. This team is a mixed bag of nuts. Some days you get almonds, cashews. Some days you get walnuts, pecan. They don't have a finite plan. Why? Because you're supposed to draft to complement, and they don't do those things. They draft to replace, and I know that that's a real crazy word to throw around because all teams do that. But who do we complement other players with? Who do we match players with so that we can propel ourselves? We don't have those things, unfortunately. Dre Matter says acorns. Cowboy Nation. Trail Mix, baby. AJ Jones, shout out to you, coach. If that is you. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires, if it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdy and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, to lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold or the poverty or the famish or fame, or the sickness of body or brain can turn you all away from the things you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it. Pistachios. Some people say that ice cream is good.
I just wanna run it up. Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Thank those who tuned in. Appreciate you. J. Diz, Quentin Warner, son of John, Newhouse, Rich Coleman, Keystone Cowboy, my dog. 870s, 1758, Davon Murphy, DP, B-Bird. I didn't think I'd get your super chat. Swayze, Sadiq Charles have arrived. I love that name. Dwight, that's DB, and Diddy, too cool. Akeem said, pistachio. Is that the ice cream is your favorite? Oh, Lord. Yeah.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. My turn. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Shout out to you, Chanel. David Jenkins. Shout out time at the end. Brandy Mahoney. Matt, what's good with you? He says, go Birds. Shout out to you.
I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many
now, cry later.
I be in zones alone. I be on road alone. Yeah. I've been really in the field. Let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Elephant, what's good? Daniel. M. Stream Elements. Do me a huge favor, Cowboy Nation. Hit that like button, share this content. Let friends or neighbors know where to go when it's time.
Lately, I just wanna run it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
All of it.
It's an evil world we live in.
You're wasting my time now. Come on.
Lately, I just wanna run.
And they understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. But I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. I got you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on the, take your phone and stick it on the bucket. Giving is worship. Giving is worship.